Yo. Hey there, guys. It's Metro, and we are back, quote unquote. Unfortunately, the servers are down, like hard down, like they're down to like apparently 4 Eastern. So I don't really have anything else to do. But I mean, literally, I don't have anything else to do. So it's not very nice outside. Don't really have it. Yeah, nothing really going on here. So I figure I might as well turn the stream on. We've done this in the past when like patches are coming out. We kind of just hang out and read chat and stuff, read forums and stuff. But yeah, as you see, down till 1. Even Classic's down. I can't even log on Classic, which is kind of funny. I was gonna at least do that or something like that. Alex, yeah. So hoping that we do return to being able to log on. That's what I'm trying to get at there. Hopefully, it will eventually return earlier than 4 o'clock, because obviously around 4 o'clock is when I have to go. But we'll do some stuff anyway. There's some things that I definitely want to do. There's been a lot of talk about the affixes. So I feel like best place to start. We're gonna read some forums. We're gonna read some YouTube comments as well. There's been a lot of videos. People have been posting a lot of videos. I want to see what other people's videos have to say. But let's do this. All right. Let's see. Desktop. No. Window capture. There we go. There's the forums. I think we'll check out. Let's see. Well, a lot of the comments from my video were pretty tame, but didn't seem like really anybody. They only have 4 thumbs down as well. Why the hell is there a queue for the beta? Yeah, it's just probably because you're not like able to log on. It's probably like down as well. It's not being reflected the same way. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I can't even log on Classic or the PTR, so there's not much going on. Hey, what's up? Yeah, glad to have you back, man. Hopefully, as long as everybody's here, no more surprise weddings or anything. We should be back to Rusticon, yep. All right, anyway, let's see. There wasn't really anybody like critical. There's like a couple people, I think, but it's going to be another one of those seasons where I'm one and done for the week. It's like, I mean, if you're going to admit that, you're kind of just making yourself look like a fool, right? Like, if you're going to like say like, well, the game's different and I'm not able to adjust, so I guess I just won't play it anymore. It's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't, you know? It's like, yeah, it's a good idea. Probably should just not play the game. Let's see. Some people talking about why Queen's Decree is called what it is. Tip for Rasta, don't put a Demon Hunter downstairs. Yeah, we've killed Rastakon before. It's just haven't been able to raid the last few weeks because people just keep missing raid. But hopefully tonight will be in good shape, and we'll get that done again a second time, and then we will start working on Mechatork. Throwing your chips for a whole season is insanity. Or, just learn it. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's such a silly thing to even say. These comments are just like you kind of just embarrass yourself, you know? This guy was a little confused. I don't know what he was saying. Why do you want to kill the shadow ad? Just kill the protected ads by pulling them out of range of the 60 meters or something, and then leave it close. You said it doesn't move, so it won't follow you. It's like, well, you're gonna stay in combat with the mob for the whole dungeon? I don't think that's a viable plan, but maybe there is some kind of play there. This guy says, don't think Teeming and Sanguine would be easy weeks anymore. They really weren't. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think anybody thinks they have been, honestly, recently. But yeah, so not really anything from my videos. I know, what's his name? Made one, what's that guy's name? Signs of Keelani or some shit like that. Let's take a look at what people say on his video. Does the shadow ad keep you in combat? Yeah, of course. I mean, once you've entered combat with it, you're in combat with it. I'm pretty sure anyway. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I guess I definitely could be wrong about that, but I don't know. We might actually be able to see. Hold on, before we even look at this. We might actually be able to see because we made that clip, right? Regarding the feedback is a joke. Most of the people on forums are clueless. Yeah, what's up, buddy? Or reading the feedback is a joke. Hey, Viltrix, what's up? Yeah, sadly, that's the way of it, you know? But anyway, let's take a look at this clip real quick. Cop is The Witcher. Yeah, Cop's been playing The Witcher for a while there. Let's see where that would be. It's like here? No, it's here. Nope, it's here. Nope. It's here. It's the 5th one, right? Okay, there we go. So I'm not in combat with it currently, but I died. So I don't know what... You can't really see it very well. I don't know why. It always takes a while to go up to the proper quality there. There we go. But yeah, it's like... I'm not in combat with it currently. Now, the thing is, I don't know. Let's see. We can see from the clip. I'm in combat with it currently. So this is, in case you guys aren't aware, this is a clip. Yeah, this is a clip I would have cut out, I imagine, the start, right? We would have just killed the... So this pack, obviously, you know, one of the most dangerous packs in the dungeon Siege of Bralis. We pulled this shit back behind this house here to line of sight this ad. It's doing its nonsense, you know, it's AoE. And we killed the pack, and now we're running up here to engage. And like part of the clip is that I die because that tree doesn't line of sight. But we are still in combat with it, even though we didn't do a single point in damage to it. So yeah, I don't know. Hey Metro, good afternoon. Hey Chris, what's up, buddy? Timba says Sign of Kalani should be named Sign of Clickbait. Yeah, sadly, like that's what everybody's doing nowadays. Like I have a lot of trouble like respecting these guys, to be honest. Just to make good videos, but now, you know, it's like 129K. If that's what you got to do to get to 100K subs with WoW, then I just don't want that. You know what I mean? I would rather have like a real community where people actually watch my videos because they want to. Anyway, hopefully the servers are up before 1. Yeah. Do you think the shadow ad will force more players to play dot classes? I think it's going to be a lot of range prominence. Yeah, I think range is going to be a lot better, but I don't know. There's probably going to be some weird way to skip it like very often, you know? I know I used to like him in Belliard, but yeah, that Belliard or whatever, he's terrible. That guy, I can't watch a single video of his now. I used to really enjoy the stuff he used to do, but it's just terrible now. I don't know. Anyway, most of the community, quote unquote, are people who don't Mythic Plus or don't want Mythic Plus to be a challenge. I want it to be more of a mindless arcade game. Yeah, it's really weird because it's like most people are like, it's not fun anymore. It's like, well, if you don't find like challenging 5-man content fun, then Mythic Plus just isn't for you, right? I don't know what to tell you. That was like some of the comments that I read that people were like, so you know, we definitely see it. Let's take a look. There's a whole feedback thread. We might as well read this while we're here. There's a whole feedback thread on it's like, yeah, you're meant to like leave your thoughts, right? And like a bunch of people are like, it's too hard. Basically, it's like, it's not fun because it's harder than reaping. It's like, well, no shit. I mean, what the hell? Anyway, if only rogues had smoke bomb for the... oh, yeah, that's true. That rogue smoke bomb. That would have been actually really good for... That would have actually been really good for Beguiling. Beguiling is just AIDS. No, AIDS is a disease that kills you. Beguiling does not. Anyway, so yeah, this is the post about whatever, like when it was... You know, you're asked to give feedback on the forums there from PTR. So, we just might as well just read all these while we're sitting here. It seems like another affix that forces us to pull a certain way and restrict us from doing big pulls or pulling the way we want. Can we just have another season of reaping instead of Infested 2.0? No, of course not. Reaping was obviously untested. I don't know who thought that was going to be hard. It was way too easy, and the fact that you're talking about big pulls is like, I mean, that's just not the way it's supposed to be, right? You're doing challenging content. You shouldn't be like combining thousands of mobs into a pack just so you can maximize your single target damage. And Beguiling will most certainly kill us. Not me, but it might kill you guys. My only concern about Beguiling is its interaction with some other rough affixes like quacking. Quacking is dangerous all the time, you know? Beguiling can kill you too, not IRL. Another thing is people complain about emphasis on trash. Maybe Blizzard doesn't want dungeons to just simply be a 5-man raid. Yep, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, trash is the big thing in dungeons. It always has been. And I think like people are they were confused because in Legion the really hard part was the bosses, but the trash was still pretty hard in Legion. It was just the bosses were way harder. But in Mythic Plus, in challenge mode, it was the complete opposite. The bosses were a fucking joke. Combining and killing the trash well was the reason that you would or would not succeed. So it's more back to that. So it's like the people who are complaining about that, they didn't do challenge modes, I guess, you know? It's just vocal minorities. Good, intelligent peoples are quiet. Yeah, I guess so. I want challenging 5-man content, but I don't want dungeons to be based on 3 melee having a 15-second interrupt. Yeah, so that's definitely going to change this season, right? Like, first of all, this doesn't have anything to do with interrupting, you know, the Beguiling, so... It's actually pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, obviously ranged interrupts, that's a penalty for being ranged. There's checks and balances in the game. That's one of them. If you remember back before season 2, reaping didn't show up on the PTR until a week or so before it was released. Yeah, you're right. It was after the patch was already out. Hi, yes, awesome. Story stream before the real one. Awesome. And hi all. Hey, what's up? Chris, hey Metro, do you know if you're going to be able to use a conflict major essence and a normal minor essence from non-PvP? Yeah, there's like 3 minor essences that you can get. One of them is always going to be tied to the major essence you have, though. And then you can get 2 more minor essences, I'm pretty sure, from leveling your neck. So, or if you choose a conflict major, do you have? Yeah, you automatically get the strife minor as well. Whatever the major one that you socket in, you get that minor one as well. And then you'll be able to pick, I think it's at least 1, if maybe not 2 more minors. I can't remember exactly how many, but anyway, let's continue reading. Current affixes for testing are bolstering explosive tyrannical. So far, the emissaries have been bolstered from the deaths of nearby enemies that are pulled with the emissary. This seems very problematic, especially when the emissary is placed in a pack with low health targets. Reaping was adjusted to not be affected by most affixes, and I'm disappointed to see this when on PTR with bolstering posing an interaction problem with the Beguiling affix. That being said, I hope the developers consider making the emissary affix agnostic. I'm sure the community would rather not. Yeah, of course, because the community would rather things be easier than harder, right? So, I mean, obviously, to say this is, like, very disingenuous or whatever you say. Like, it's just not. That's not a fair representation of what the 5-man is supposed to be about. But the key thing here is reaping was adjusted to not be affected by most affixes. Because if it was, it wouldn't be doable, right? Like, think about if the 30 mobs that came out of reaping bolstered each other. It had to be that way. You know what I mean? That's an exception. You know what I mean? That wasn't a change that they were going to use for everything. That's just silly. I definitely think, you know, these the only thing I'm worried about is the shadow ad. If you kill mobs with sanguine, like, what do? You're fucked. You literally can't kill the ad. So I don't know. That'd be the only thing I'm interested in seeing about. I can't believe people are complaining about the priestess buff. Most of the mechanics are avoidable, and you can dispel the die. Yeah, priestess was a joke fight, by the way. We can look at that too while we're here. Do you like the new affix? If so, why? Because I hate it. Yeah, I have like 3 videos on it already, man. Check it out. What else? That priestess buff was a little over the top, though. No, not at all. I guess you didn't see the stream. It's still like pretty doable. Like, it's not over the top. The numbers sound over the top, but that's just how easy the boss was. So you got to look at like the reality of the situation. Oh, so this is kind of funny. This guy says, wow, Headlink, if you want to take part in the conversation but still haven't tested it yourself. Now look at this. Kyvax replies, please always consider testing something for yourself before providing feedback. How about that? Yo, a little forward. A little bit forward there, huh? Being like, yo, by the way, you fucking idiots who haven't even done this shit, why don't you go actually play the game? It's pretty crazy, man. No, I did, but 80% hit is rough. Yeah, I mean, if it one-shots you, then obviously that's not good. But I mean, it doesn't need to one-shot you for it to be buffed. People got upset because WoW went hard. Yeah, pretty much. Just because the healer can't DPS that fight 24/7 doesn't mean it's over the top. Correct. It's the numbers look absurd, by the way. Let's take a look at the numbers while we're talking about this. I mean, we might as well let the discussion drive the topics that we're doing. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't read this, and you're interested in Frosty K at all, I think I might actually be playing Frosty K, man. I might be playing a lot of Frost. All right, let's take a look here. Might as well read these. So Atal Dazar, Priestess of Alunza. Gilded Claws damage increased to 300%, was 150%, but the duration was reduced to 6 seconds. Now this is dispellable. You can purge this. So that's kind of like a no thing anyway. Corrupted Gold. This is a big deal. Damage increased by 544%. It's a huge number, right? Molten Gold. This is the thing we're talking about. Priestess Linda agitates a pool of molten gold, splattering a player at random. The victim burns for 4,000, blah, 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 every damage. So it's not a, I think automatically it now hits you. I don't know exactly how it used to work, but regardless, massive, massive buff. This was the thing I made a clip on, right? We showed Cop getting like almost one shot by it. Where was it? Yeah, there, I see the arrow. Yeah, see? He gets hit for like probably like 75% of his health with the first tick of it, I guess. So I'd be okay with the damage if the ability is interruptible. Yeah, no, I'm okay with it as it is. As long as it doesn't actually one-shot you and make the dungeon impossible on high keys, then yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Unholy DK is also getting a buff. Oh, really? Yay, we are getting good again. Thank God. Oh, yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know if they're getting better. It's just going to be, like, more quality of life for the Frosty K. When is 8.2 released? We don't know for sure, Ross, but I actually posted that in this video. Where the hell is it? There it is. I actually posted that in this video, in case you guys didn't see this. So I put, perhaps more interesting, the affix set we tested on the PTR was different than the one we had on live. In fact, it was the affix set we will see on July 9th's week. Perhaps confirmation that the season would start at least on the 9th, meaning patch confirmed for the 25th. There's now a lot of evidence for June 25th as the patch date. So we'll see. If it's not announced this week, then I guess not, but we'll see. It does seem weird that they would test this specific affix set, and that specific affix set is probably the day that the season would start, but we don't know for sure. Anyway, Unholy DK needs an extra utility spell, not a damage boost, but I guess their single target was pretty bad, right? So like a week away, and that'd be 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. I don't like one dungeon being 3 levels harder than another, like King's Rest and Shrine, and maybe Siegear. I wouldn't say that. I mean, they're definitely there's definitely some problems with some of the dungeons, but yeah, I mean, Freehold getting nerfed, Toldegor, the cannon's getting fixed, and now some of the easier bosses in the game getting buffed. That seems like it's going to be bringing things better in line. Go check Wowhead, no damage boost for Unholy DK. Yeah, I don't know. We would have heard something by today if today's maintenance had something to do with the next patch. I mean, the patch is not coming out today, if that's what you're asking, but it probably does have something to do with the next patch, yeah. Like, they have to change something about something to make it easier for the patch. Anyway, Dan, what's up, buddy? How's it going, man? Will Vengeance Demon Hunter be good for Season 3 along with buffs? Yes, they're going to be good. They got another buff, who Vengeance, or I don't know, what, a Death Knight? I don't know. Do you think Blizzard is going to make a push to force players to actually have to use CC during trash packs? They already have, yeah. I mean, that's what this affix is doing, right? The fix is going to make you have to actually CC one of the 3 mobs. Like, it's going to be mandatory. There was, I don't have the clip up or anything, but in Atal, there was a pack where it's like the pack at the foot of the stairs coming out of the Volcall boss, right? There's 2 casters and the 2 shield guys that you need to stun to prevent them from absorbing all the damage. You have to CC that, right? Like, you can't fight that pack not being able to interrupt and CC, you know, or not being able to interrupt and stun. You'll just die, right? You can't do that pack. So that is definite CC right there, 100%. Anyway, what were we looking at? Oh yeah, we're back to this. I'm all over the place. No. Let's do this first. Anyway, hey, what's up, Connellan? Happy reset day. Sadly, yeah, you can't reset the game when the game's not available. Yay, discussion stream. Must mean servers are still down. Yes, I think Blizzard did the affix more for the boost. Going on Mythic Plus would be a lot harder now to boost groups. It's definitely gonna be a lot harder, one way or the other. A lot of the perceived difficulty of certain dungeons simply come from the inexperience that comes with avoiding them. Yo, that's a fucking true story right there, man. For real, that's like prophetic words of wisdom right there, honestly. Like, how many times have you guys done King's Rest compared to Freehold? That's the way for me. Like, I've done King's Rest like 10 times this season, and I've done Freehold like 50. So that doesn't help either, you know what I mean? Even though the dungeon is definitely harder, like, you know, I'd say like factually harder, it's a big part of it is because I'm just not very experienced with the dungeon as well. King's Rest is the dungeon I did the most. Nice. So, Metro, do you think a Brewmaster Monk with the PvP conflict essence should survive the Shadow Beguiling mob and then do 30% of the damage back to the mob? I didn't even think about that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I'm going to have to bring that up to Morgraine, actually. Getting hit for like 100% of your health. Oh my god, that's kind of crazy, actually. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that might be a big deal, Chris. Anyway, alright. Cryogen. I tested the affix as well, but honestly, it feels a bit too powerful. It's just like bolstering with steroids. All I have to say is I'm avoid beguiling with bolstering in that week. Yeah, I mean, obviously, bolstering changes the way you do it. This guy's actually like combating Kaivax, saying, I agree, but there in Wowhead we have some details that is not available in the game, if I remember correctly. Like, they will rotate in position pulls each week as stated in an interview. Other than that, it gives you an idea from what to expect when going to test it yourself. Anyway. It did 1 million too, so it would do 300k back. I don't think that's how it works. It has something to do with stagger, and I don't know exactly how stagger works, but Brewmaster is getting a spell reflect-like ability. No, not spell reflect. You should look into the PvP essence. They're getting an ability that's already a PvP talent that when you purify your stagger, so much of the damage that you would have taken from purifying goes to the enemy instead. So anyway, it's going to make them like top DPS if they have that essence on. Anyway, the new affix is awful. I ran a 12 King's Rest. That's probably the problem, actually. 12 was like, oh my god. Doing an 11 was tough. The ads were placed in such a way as to make the casters you absolutely must interrupt uninterruptible. Right. That's the goal. Let's get serious, right? That's the fucking goal. This is not a criticism of the affix. This is what's supposed to happen. Anyway, watching a streamer run a tall Dazar, so you haven't even done it yourself, it's clear that this affix will also mean rogues are even more required to skip packs with certain Beguiling ads. Will it? The Beguiling ads are not fun in the slightest. I'll go from doing 8 to 10 keys a week to doing the minimum required at this point. It's like Infested, a bad affix, but worse. See, I loved Infested. I don't really understand why people thought it was a bad affix. I think people are just way too they're heavily comparing it to season 2, which was obviously just ridiculous. Anyway, having the emissaries move each week will definitely hinder pugs. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get used to it eventually. After a few weeks, you'll be used to it. Windwalker Monk is actually getting a spell reflect that they can put up on any teammate, and it's going to be a 10-second CD. Oh, really? So much more consistent. Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna reflect. It's not gonna reflect damage, but it's just gonna do a bunch of damage to any. It's like an AOE, you know, a new AOE spell. Anyway, I won't even get into the Beguiling interaction with other affixes because the whole affix is so bad that this is the least of my concerns. Fundamentally, I think one of the designs here was let's make people pull trash they don't like to pull. Yes, that is actually the case. Have you considered for even a moment that there's a reason we don't pull those packs? Yes, because you're trying to make the dungeon as fast and easy as possible. Because they're awful, unbalanced, and in short, poorly designed. No, I think it's definitely because you want to complete the dungeon as fast as possible. Anyway, update. Saw Motherload on a stream. What a cluster. Putting the no CC, no interrupt Beguiling ad around every refreshment vendor, that's just downright stupid. No, that's smart. I mean, what the fuck do these people think? You're going to put the one that makes the mobs not interruptible next to mobs that don't need to be interrupted? What the fuck do you... What do you, like, got something wrong with you, dude? Like, I don't understand what your complaint is here, man. You're upset that Blizzard is doing what they're supposed to do with the affix to make it difficult? I don't know, man. That's the kind of shit that really worries me. Hey, nothing to see here. What's up, buddy? How's it going, man? Reaping was way more fun. Yeah, I mean, everybody likes doing 150k AoE, right? But that doesn't mean it was a good affix. Like, people find things fun because it's easy, and it's like, you know, it allows them to seem overpowered. This is not good for the game, you know what I mean? Reaping is bad. Terrible, terrible, terrible for the game. It ruined this it really did. This MDI was god-awful because of Reaping. It was sad, honestly, how bad it was. At least the MDI we got to watch at BlizzCon, the small, like, four game match or whatever it was fucking, that was legit. There was no ridiculousness. I mean, there was some, but it was not anywhere near as bad as this season's. Anyway, Beguiling is bad and is way more in the vein of Infested than Reaping. That's correct, yeah. The fun part of Mythic Plus is being able to create your own challenges by the size of your pulls instead of being limited by an affix and being forced to pull in a certain way. See, I mean, if you find that to be the fun of Mythic Plus, then just do 9s, right? I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't do a key and ever think like, oh man, let's pull 10 mobs together, 10 packs together. This is fun, you know? It's like I'm trying to complete the fucking dungeon. Anyway, I really hope this doesn't make it to live. It will, yeah, this is going live. As I do not think me or my friends are looking forward to Beguiling. Gotcha. Thanks for the heads up. Anyway, Shroud of Concealment isn't exactly 10,000 IQ strategy here. Beguiling frankly looks unfun to play. Reaping had moments of fun. I didn't play during the Infested meta due to classes hampering my playtime, so I can't tell you how fun it was, but Beguiling just looks unfun to me, as I expect to have some fun in my video games. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, again, if you don't enjoy challenging 5-man encounter, like, types encounters, then, yeah, it's not going to be fun, I guess. But, like, for me, I enjoy the challenge that a 5-man might present, mostly because the fact that you only have 5 players, but also because of how a lot of the stuff works in 5-mans. So this is actually perfect for me. Like, Reaping was not... there was no challenge to it, you know what I mean? It was just sit there and kill the mobs, AoE. Rogues are going to fucking do 150k and brag about it, so... Anyway, MDI this season has been horrible. Yeah, I mean, it's just terrible. Absolutely. MDI, this is the first MDI that I ever thought was just a waste of time. You know what's mind-blowing, too? A lot of people complain that Mythic Plus loot is not good enough. Yeah, that's another interesting topic. Oh, yeah, Reaping was fun because it wasn't just melt ASAP, hence the AoE basis. Oh, it was... Yeah, exactly. This was no challenge, over padding, you know what I mean? Like, of course people find it fun. This is like the shit that ruins this game, you know what I mean? Everybody wants things to be easier You know, higher numbers, higher pad. You know, they want to brag about how much DPS they're doing. It's just not good for the game, man. Anyway, I'm actually looking forward to it. I just wish that CC was more commonly used and understood. Yeah, I mean, CC in a timed key is never going to be a good thing, so it is tough to strike a balance to make it, like, not feel ridiculous. But I think this is the right play for sure. Anyway, did a King's Rest 10 last night. It was pretty annoying. The reflect damage mob, by far the easiest. Able to pull away with healer and have them kept it out of the fight. Good, that's good strategy. Unstoppable mob, depending on where this mob lands, it's super annoying and painful to deal with. We'll do more testing on how easy it is to pull away. It looks like it could be sapped from a few streams. Yes, it can be CC'd. I guess people didn't know that originally, but like that's the goal. You're meant to CC it and then pull all the other shit. Bye-bye, Outlaw Rogue. Yeah, fucking thanks for stopping by, man. I'm glad that those days are over. Rogue 9 videos. What's up, buddy? How's it going, man? I agree, Metro, but I just feel stupid that every class literally has one tier of CC talents that are basically never used. It just feels bad. Why? What do you mean? What feels bad? Anyway, why you say that, Neil? Lol, no need for massive AoE. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, hide from cast mob. This one is pretty tough. It gains ramping damage, so that one cast is... Yes, we know this. Anyway, so you have 24 seconds to kill this mob. Some spawn in areas of dungeons that you can't line of sight effectively, and thus these are a nightmare. So I didn't actually see that. That wasn't my experience. We didn't run into one. Oh, I've been disconnected from the classic beta as well. Hold on. I didn't actually see that. That wasn't the case for me. I didn't run into to any dungeon that you couldn't. I'm back in BattleNet. Let's try to log on. Anyway, I didn't run into any scenario in any dungeon that you couldn't line of sight the mob. So I don't know if that's true or not. People will still play Outlaw. They still have stuns. More stun. Do they actually have more stuns? I think they have the same. It's just easier for them to use it, right? Because their like stun is actually like a part of their offensive rotation. Anyway, like it's just a wasted tier of talents at this point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to remember the game isn't only for 5-mans, man. Like there's times where you need it in raids and even in PvP, of course. You know. Oh, I'm actually into classic. Too bad I literally don't give a fuck. Anyway, yeah, let's keep reading. Oops. Anyway, oh hey, I was able to sign into classic beta. Yeah. Remember that mace stun chance Rogue had back in Classic? Yeah. Still there in Classic. Anyway, as they stated, they get affected by bolster, but they don't give bolster since they teleport away instead of dying. Overall, I dislike this affix, but we'll run a few more over the weekend. Not stated, though, is the scaling from Season 2 to 3. Currently, a 10k on PTR is equal to a 15 or 16 on live. Yeah, so I've seen people say this, and it does feel that way. I think that's, again, that's intended, though. It's because the essences are going to be kind of crazy. They have all the stuns of other rogues plus the rotation one, and I don't know what gauge is, but the rotation one is just kidney shot, isn't it? It's the same ability. Anyway, remember that mace stun chance Rogue had back in Classic? I read that. Wait, since when can I use Repentance in a raid? You can use it on Rosticon. They also have cooldown reduction buffs for more stuns and vanishes, and leech buff for sustained bulk, but it's completely random, so not consistent. Right, yeah, Rogue has, like, Outlaw Rogue has better access to stuns, but I don't know. Anyway, what else? Enchanted Emissary. This, oh god, the fuck? Look at how this starts. This is completely unacceptable. No, it's not. When it appears, the tank and healer have to use major cooldowns at the start to even get enough time for a DPS guy to start knocking it away. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, what kind of bullshit do you guys even say? It's so bizarre. Tanks can't avoid damaging things. That causes a wipe. You pull it back. What are you talking about? You just pull the mobs back. Oh, man. Like, what are you talking about? The fuck? Anyway, additionally, the mere existence of this mob requires you to 4-man the entire rest of the pull. No, it doesn't. The guy who chases the enchanted emissary will provide absolutely no help to the fight. It's only 30 seconds, first of all, and literally any range damage dealer like can just shoot an ability at it, and then you can stun it and knock it and all this. Anyway, just have the healer deep. Yeah, I don't know. For all the rogues out there, maybe Subtlety might be really strong this season. From what I hear, Burst is super good and would be very nice for the Emissary. Oh, really? I heard Subtlety was just terrible. I don't know. What else? Explosives, no time to spare. Yeah, so explosives are kind of weird with the new season, it seems. Interrupts, hope you got ranged ones. What? I don't understand that. Anyway, need to stand specific to not die, a la Rune Carver Sorn. Tough. You die and the pull wipes. I'm really... This guy doesn't have any fucking idea what he's talking about, it feels like. Also, there's nothing you can do to minimize the amount of time you have to face this impassable and impossible mechanic. It's not impassable, and it's certainly not... This guy trolling? I mean, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Impossible. It dies after 30 seconds automatically, dude. How is it impossible? But, I mean, it does... you have to somehow live for 30 seconds. I mean, yeah. 30 seconds is pretty... That's not a lot. I don't know what these guys are peeping. I really feel like this guy's only play with melee. Yeah, I don't understand it at all. Like, any ranged class at all is going to just completely truck these things, right? Like, they're going to handle it so easily. Can the enchanted mob be hit by AoE spells? From what I've been told, any direct damaging spell will apply it on the first hit of its direct damage. So I don't know about AoE, like pure AoE, like Blood Boil. But if it's something that it hits multiple targets, like directly, then it will hit that, yeah. Like the combat rogue ability, what's that called? Blade Dance or Blade Quiver or Shadow Fuck or whatever it's called. I don't know. That will hit multiple targets directly, and that will knock that mob back if it hits it. You have as a Blood Decay checked. Brah, look at this dude. Imagine these guys trying to do Mythic raid progression. They would complain about bosses more than figuring out how to defeat bosses. Yeah, Shadow Fuck, that's what it's called. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know the names. These things need a complete redesign. It absolutely cannot go into the game like this. This is the worst designed thing of the entire expansion. Yo, I'm about to report this guy for trolling, to be honest. Anyway, Void Touch Emissary. This is completely fine. Wait, oh, I guess he is. Wait, is he actually trolling? He is actually trolling. Wait, I don't know. I can't tell. Feel free to put more things in like this, which removes a required class from groups so the rest of us can actually play. He's talking about Shroud of Concealment, I guess, right? Mage Arcane Missiles, Demon Hunter I-Beam, Hunter Rambo Shot is actually good for pushing the mob, yeah. There's tons of things that are good for it. So I don't know if this guy's actually trolling or what. Emissary of the Tides, whether or not this is okay is completely up to you guys. Yeah, I guess this guy's trolling. No idea where all of them are being spawned yet, but I know where they can't be spawned. If you put these guys into groups that have more than one healer or have absolutely must-have interrupt abilities, then you guys have failed as game designer. Oh, man. If you're going to keep them in groups where it's only a little more interesting because of the lack of CC, then great. You don't... Like, if you don't need to interrupt or stun mobs, then there's no challenge to this mob. That's not going to happen. I don't understand why people don't recognize that. It's really weird. This guy's impact is completely binary. Either he makes the dungeon impossible or he makes it slightly harder. That's not what binary means. Anyway, forum stream. Hey, Mads, what's up? It's okay. It's like Faxia knows. I feel like he's trolling or just never done a key. Yeah, I think trolling is probably the case. I don't know, man. It's really weird. Oh, man. It says it's a class that has been meta forever. He's talking about Demon Hunter. Yeah, it's funny. As much as it seems like it's needed in certain circumstances, are we pretending that skipping content is good for content? Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. Anyway, I mean, I can already see in the MDI that they will do large pulls and just have someone push the arcane emissary away and keep going. I don't think they will have any issues. Yep. I mean, this is like really bizarre, these comments. Hey, Nick, what's up, buddy? How's it going, man? What's funny? Hey, Mads, where you missed it. You might want to scroll back like a minute or something, two or 3 minutes or something. We're reading this ridiculous fucking reply from this guy. Like, this is the most ridiculous reply I think that could be concocted on this, so I don't know. Anyway, if you fail to keep them in the slightly harder groups and put them in the impossible groups, you've made a serious mistake. In summation, Enchanted Emissary redesigned completely. This is non-viable. Void Touch Emissary, good job. It's great. Oh, this is cracking me up. Emissary of the Tides, do not put these in the wrong groups, otherwise it's fine. Who replied to this? This guy, yeah, this is a good one. Etherealness. You're forgetting range exists, right? I don't blame you with the current Mythic Plus meta. The Emissary is there for range to knock back and keep in check, or even healers. Okay, I'm glad somebody has some logic. He's Demon Hunter, mate. What do you expect? Oh, man. Buddies and I were talking about fun places for Void Emissaries last night. I want one on each bridge and Freehold. You mean in the middle of the bridge? I would love it if I made that clip. I would love it if more of the Void Touch Emissaries were just not connected to packs. I think that would be way more interesting if they were kind of just blocking like paths that you might take instead of actual fighting trash around them. The forums live in the disruption field. That has to be true since they only have to hit 3 buttons and many of them fail even that. Damn. All right, so these are hopefully more serious comments now. My thoughts after spending about 1.5 hours testing in 2 different +10 dungeons, Motherlode and Toldagor. We were all 415 to 420. The emissaries have too much health. Time to kill each one mob seems a tad long for how many there are throughout the dungeons and for how dangerous they can be. It's good feedback. I could agree with that. I do think that they probably should have the same health as the pack that they're around, not more. They currently have like about 20% more health than the pack that they are in. Like an individual mob in that pack. And I think that's probably too much, yeah. I didn't see it on streams, but I was told there's one Void in King's Rest after the Gauntlet just before the bridge. Oh, really? Huh. Cool. Yeah, I didn't do King's Rest either, so. Anyway, Enchanted being able to be knocked back and Vortex Ring of Peace is going to cause for a very exclusive meta. With Void being the only emissary with True Sight, Rogues will be top tier and rest of Druids will be more meta now. Personally, I don't think it should be able to be Vortex or knocked back by player CC. I disagree. I mean, there's a lot of knockbacks in the game now. I mean, Vortex doesn't really help that, honestly. It's only Ring is what's overpowered, but Ring's been overpowered, so I don't agree with that. Why you don't do King's Rest? I don't have the key. I'm talking about on the PTR, right? So I've only done 3 keys on the PTR. Anyway, is it possible to skip the Void Emissary by running through? It doesn't follow, does it? It doesn't, but you're going to be in combat the whole time. What is up with the stream? What do you mean? Anyway, it doesn't like drop combat or something like that. They just announced a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Yo, Sean, what's up, buddy? How you been, man? Rocking that gold icon, awesome. The only healer who couldn't solo the Spell Reflect Emissary is Pally, right? What do you mean by solo it? You mean like knock it back constantly? At the E3 live stream, gotcha. Yeah, didn't check that out at all. What's up, Maine? How you been, dude? What are you up to? Okay, anyway, Enchanted living for 30 seconds is also too long. It just enforces the requirement for few classes who could control them, right? That's the point of the affix. 30 seconds is not long at all, though. I don't know what these guys are talking about. Anyway, Void's damage is too high. I don't see what the intent of the Emissary is, but I feel the damage is high, and having Void build stacks seems excessive. Having something that is a healer check and single target check is fine, but the damage from the Emissary on top of the damage from the trash seems to be a lot to handle. So this is actually really good feedback. Let's keep reading. I'd like to see his cast sped up, but remove the cap on his stacks. So there's about like 10 different things to unpack here. And I definitely agree with this. This is something to think about. I do think that Void's damage by default is too high, and the fact that it stacks is excessive. But one of the two is all they need to change to fix this. They either start at like really low damage and it stacks really high, or it just doesn't stack. It does 50% of the health all the time. And then, of course, the big thing is they could also fix this by just, like he says, the packs themselves are really tough. You know what I mean? The trash seems to be a lot to handle. Like it being in that really dangerous pack in Borealis, that's rough, man. That's tough. So I don't think anybody's going to kill that mob. You can't run over there with that pack and kill it. It's impossible, right? There's no way you'll survive that. So, yeah, I think you have to... They should definitely either consider making it for like a massive majority of them being solo, then they could stay as they are. A massive majority of, or like all of them not stacking the damage, then they could stay as they are. Or they could buff the damage that like how it stacks. It could stack the same way, but remove like, like start at like 10%. So then it's 10, then it's 20, then it's 40, then it's 80. Something like that. But yeah, one of those 3 things should change, I think, for this. Anyway, wait, the music in the background is the stream we've all been waiting for. Ironically, yes. I've been using Classic as a barometer to see if I can get in the live game, but it doesn't seem to be tethered, so. Anyway, wait, you're telling me I can't go into a dungeon, mash a few buttons, and win no more? Rip, impute sarcastic comments now, gotcha. Have you tried running super far away from the shadow ad? No, I haven't, but I haven't tried that. Been good just playing on Northdale. Nice, man. Cool. Hopefully you're having fun. Yeah, Pallies just have Judge for ranged. Right. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway. Again, Metro, you have to remember the other affixes. The Void Emissary alone is insane, but stack that with Quacking and Grievous Week. The entire group should get one shot now. Yeah, I mean, Grievous is definitely a good example there for sure. But I mean, that's part of the game. I don't know what I have to remember. What's going on? Oh, that server's still active? Nice. Like 12k at peak because of the classic hype. It's actually ridiculous. Nice. Void Emissary, only 60-yard range. Time for MM Hunter to stack Mastery and solo it. Yo, that's forgot about that. Can you actually get longer than 60-yard ranges? Anyway, 5. Tide seems okay. With Tides being able to be fully CC'd, he was easy to manage and straightforward. Only thing with Tide was his HP was a tad high, and it felt like infested, where it was just there to slow down the dungeon. Yeah, I mean, it's there to make the dungeon more interesting and challenging. But yeah, I definitely agree. The HP is a bit too high in these. I said earlier in the thread, having the Emissary interact with the other affixes was pretty rough. Yeah, I mean, that's intentional, I think. Anyway, what else? In Legion, I got the 55 yards. Oh, I see. Very nice. What are you playing on North and Classic? Yeah. Hey, the meta for Classic is running the highest level dungeons as possible. It kind of... Wait, hey, the meta for Classic is running the highest level dungeons as possible. It kind of like the Mythic Plus of Classic. What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about when you're capped at 40? Yeah, it's pretty silly. Anyway, all in all, I do not like the current version of the affix. It feels slow and too powerful. I was hoping the new affix would help balance out the meta, but it's just going to reinforce it even more. Mythic Plus is viewed as one whole encounter, and this affix makes it so every other trash pull feels like a separate encounter. I really do love pre-planning my routes, and that kind of thing isn't an issue, but they really make the dungeon less enjoyable. Yeah, gotcha. I can't sympathize with anybody who says it makes the dungeon less enjoyable, because I feel like people just don't enjoy being challenged. But yeah, I definitely also don't think it's going to not help balance out the meta. I mean, I definitely think it's going to help balance out the meta. It's going to create a new meta, though, right? I mean, it's not going to... Everything is never going to be equal in the meta. It's just impossible. Like I said, I'm super excited for this challenge and the affix. It's just, I also wanted to feel confident that I could successfully clear 10 to 15 every week. I mean, you always can, right? Like, the mob isn't going to just kill you for an hour, right? No 8.2 day. Yeah, probably this week. I have a 60 pally hunter, rogue, and warrior. Trying to decide if I want to play rogue or warrior, leaning towards warrior. I agree with the it feels slow thing, but that's going to just take some time to get used to. Yep, definitely. 8.2 actually looks pretty cool. 8.2 is fucking amazing. I can't. It's going to be the best patch ever for a while. Can you please move your browser window to the right a bit? The chat overlaying is blocking the text. I can. What I can do... Could do that, I guess, but it's still going to overlap. Unfortunately, it's just like, you know, like Wowhead. You know, Wowhead's even worse. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't really do much about that. Sorry, man. What else? Just keep the dungeon hard and remove the timers. Yeah, to be honest, I would be fine with that, Taker. That would be like my ideal situation. No more timers, but I don't think it would ever be the case. You must be in Ace Games. Yep, yeah, he was from the old days. Sean was a big supporter in the old days. Anyway, that's that guy replying. Oh, here's my post. This here is a great summary of the underlying impact of its affix. I was hoping the new affix would help balance out the meta. No, yeah, I don't think that's the case. I mean, it's just going to create a new meta, right? Even if Rogue is still in the top of the meta, that's just the new meta. You know what I mean? That's how it works. Low-key kind of big. Yeah, definitely. Freehold, yeah, that's a big deal for sure for Freehold. It'd be a big, it'd be interesting to see like what happens with the placement too. The placement of the emissaries. Without a timer, I don't feel like there would be the same kind of challenge. Yes, definitely. Obviously, much less levers. I mean, you could just replace people, I'm sure. But yeah, I would love a scenario where you can literally just choose. Like, the timer doesn't have to be removed, but the keystone system is what needs to be removed for me to be happy. I would love to do a 20. Like, to just go in and do a 20. But getting a 19 and upgrading it, not really realistic for me, you know? So it's like, I don't really care about upgrading that 20. I would just like to do the hardest, the most challenging dungeon content that I can, no matter how long it takes. If I could spend 4 hours in a dungeon, I would be fine with that. But that's not how the game works, you know? So... depending on the emissary placement, I bet you're going to see people kill a lot more trash in the front. Yeah, you might be right. The void ad can be line of sight, so that's probably the tactic. Yes, Gregory, that is definitely the tactic, 100%. What else? You are posting there too to create content for the stream. No, I mean, I just posted here to actually, you know, to actually give feedback on stuff, you know? Anyway, so I said, does anyone know if there's an over-the-timer buff, again, like it's Season 2? If not, any reason why there isn't? Would you guys disagree with me if I said there needs to be one? And somebody actually did. This guy says, the Steve's War. This guy says, determination stacks are for LFR level people. Let them keep it. No, we don't need a you suck and have failed. Here's a literal handicap your failure buff. It's I mean, I understand the point. I would make the same, I would have said the same thing about LFR, but this is very different. Instead, learning limits and not having a handhold for failure is better for growth and success of a team. Would totally agree with you if people just didn't leave immediately. Now pugs are a different story. Never know when some degenerate is going to mess up your key, and you just want a nice buff to get out of there at a reasonable pace. Good. I'm glad we agree, because that's obviously what I'm talking about, is pugging, right? Anyway, I've said this before, but I do wish they made it like the Diablo 3 system again. Just you get a dungeon key. Yeah, yeah, we have talked about that. That would be my idea too. Make dungeons even harder and remove timers. Make every pack like a major encounter. That sounds fun to me. We can't build everything around pugs. I would just, yeah, there's a lot of ways you can improve the system, but for me the main thing would be just take away, like, just allow me to do whatever level key I want to do. You know what I mean? I would love that. It would be the most fun for me, but was kidding. Oh, okay, man. F that. Give me a buff. Yeah. I'm gonna go AFK for 30 minutes or so, crossing fingers for classic gameplay when I return. Well, you could uncross them because I won't be playing classic today on the live stream. Anyway, okay, let's see. This guy, Teddles. Oh, is this the Bombkin guy? The name sounds familiar. Anyway, there really is a lot to unpack with this affix set. The mobs themselves. The Tide's Handmaiden is totally an infested mob that does not spawn the Gahoonies. Correct. How you end up dealing with the mob is an incidental way where you CC it, then pull the trash back, then you deal with the mob solo. This is actually horribly unfun design. Okay, I disagree. The Enchanted Handmaiden is interesting for sure. I think this is the best design because it kills itself. It's relatively easy to deal with by any group of 5 and will not just totally destroy you. I agree. In fact, I kind of think like maybe if they all just kind of teleported away instead of you actually having to kill them, that might be better. I don't know. I do only stream on YouTube, by the way. Loop 4X, basically, yeah. 90% of the content I stream is on YouTube because I'm trying to grow our YouTube channel, not a Twitch channel. But I have streamed a bit on Twitch, so check that out too. It's mostly leveling challenges. Funny thing about buffs is they are in the game. Yeah, I heard about that, actually. I feel like you have to earn to do a 20. Imagine all the noobs running around in a 20. If you can, just do it. Then, why? Well, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, a 20 isn't any more prestigious if you take 4 hours to do that 20. You know what I mean? I don't know why they want me to not. Like, I would rather things be about the challenge of them, not the timer. I don't mind the timer because I do feel like speedrunning is the only true PvE competitive atmosphere that exists, like that can be properly healthy. So that's fine by me. But for me personally, I would have more fun if I could just do like a 30, the hardest key that I could possibly do, and it'd take like an hour or two. That would be way more fun for me. I really enjoy your insights, especially as a tank. We often end up being the navigators of Mythic Plus runs. Sweet. Thanks for saying that, Luke4X. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. The arcane ads that die on themselves are great for padding for dot classes. I guess so. Who cares? You do know that the higher up you go in Keystone system, the better players you have in general. You want to deal with guys who don't know mechanics in a 20. That has nothing to do with the system. It's just a coincidence. It's because the people who are doing those keys have upgraded the keys, If that wasn't the case, then it wouldn't matter at all, I can just do a 20 with people I want to do a 20 with regardless of who they are. Anyway, this is random, but last night I was doing a +6 shrine and a tank died at the boss because he didn't know what to do, and he just leaves at 12 minutes in. That's not random, unfortunately. Welcome to season 2. That's the way of it, unfortunately. Okay, anyway, Void. Number 1, Void is so overtuned. 2, True Sight, really, yes. 3, it requires too many resources to appropriately deal with relative to the whole dungeon for this mob. Disagree. I would say overtuned, I would tend to agree with. It does seem like it is, and I think it should be nerfed in one of the 3 ways we talked about. But I definitely don't think it requires too many resources. I'm not sure what that even means. Anyway, so even though Void spawns way less frequently than other handmaidens, it's still insane. Does it actually? Is that fact? If that's the case, then I definitely I have less sympathy. Anyway, there will likely be something where you pull the trash out of the pack, get 60 yards away from the mob so you're not taking damage, then you shadow meld off the mob. That's true, but you're not really going to be able to go that far away the other direction. Like, where would that be realistic, that you're going to go 60 yards that direction and not pull something else? Rather to the pug world. Yeah, it's definitely the case. I mean, it's not really related to season 2. There's 2 per instance, people are saying. Oh, really? I didn't realize that. So there's like a hard limit. Interesting. Do you think it could be worth bringing a Blood DK over other tanks just for the grip on emissaries alone? I think Blood DK is still tier 1, number 1 tank, but not not necessarily for the emissaries. I don't know. Maybe I think like gripping the emissaries is going to be nice, but yeah. I mean, don't forget also the Tide's emissary does frost damage, so Bloody K going to be the best at dealing with them. They won't be able to do that in a tall. You did where the Void Emissary was at the top of the stairs before. Yeah, exactly. You can't really do that in most scenarios. I don't think there would be one. They should not allow layers to choose Night Elves in MDI, to be honest. You mean like just ban Night Elves? So anyway, avoid this mob at all costs. If you can, yeah, I guess you should. I mean, that's probably the way of it. How they interact with the dungeons? They get affected by affixes. Are you kidding me? Like, they cannot reasonably get impacted by bolstering without being just ridiculous. I mean, that's how bolstering works. I don't understand why people are this confused by this. Bolstering's only up for 2 weeks, right? I mean, it's not like this is going to be a problem every single week anyway. Anyway, the mob choices per pack is suspect at best. The Void Maiden is in a Dervish pack in Cetralis. Like, really? The one Void dude is pretty much non-skippable by design. Yeah, that I saw that one in Cetralis. That's really rough. 2, he does an absurd amount of damage and requires a ridiculous amount of resources. And 3, you match him up with just stupid packs. I would say that, yeah, like we talked about already, there's 3 ways to fix this. And for me, the way to fix it is just put this as a solo mob instead of tied to dangerous packs. I don't think it's fair that it's tied to dangerous packs. But anyway, there should 100% be a positive side to this fix. Otherwise, the affix will ruin Mythic Plus for all gamers. It's not going to ruin it for me. So please speak for yourself. I don't know. Is this actually the guy? I really hope not, because these kind of people really, they really worry me. People who are like supposedly hardcore players and then they complain about the game being too hardcore. I don't know. Is this actually the guy? 418. He is, yeah, that's definitely him. 2 out of 2 Mythic Crucible. Wow. That's got to be him, right? Oh, maybe not, though. He doesn't have any keys. I don't know, though. I assume that's him. Anyway, that is him, yeah. That's a shame, man. You dismiss their opinions, yet you hate Sanguine and usually do less keys those week. Doesn't mean that the fix should be changed, though, you know? That's what I'm saying. Like, to say that, like, just because something's harder, it should be made easier, that's just really silly, you know what I mean? Anyway, how is it not changing? Okay, this guy's replying to that guy. Trying not to read these. Okay, this is that guy again. He's replying to him. What else? All right, Felt Plague. This is actually somebody we know. They know the community asked for PvP vendors. Oh, yeah, this is... Oh, yeah, this... Did I miss this one, or did this get removed? This might have been removed, actually. Oh, no, it's still there. Then please consider actually listening to feedback. Head over to the arena forums for 5 minutes. There's feedback on PvE items still being active in arenas, PvP vendors, and more. Yeah, I don't know about all that. It's harder, so you do less. That is the takeaway. If people don't like it, they will not participate. That's fine. But yeah, if they don't like it, then don't participate. That's what I do when I don't like things. I don't do them, so that's fine by me. But that doesn't mean things should be changed just because I don't like something, you know? Anyway, Unat CE is like 250k now. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Wait, what? You're talking about the Mythic boss? Anyway, it's very strange that people praise Classic for being challenging and then take to the forums to complain about retail being too challenging. Classic is objectively not as challenging as Live WoW. That's just a fact. That's not an opinion. The game just doesn't have the challenge that the live game does. But we've already talked about this at length. I don't know if you feel this way, Metro, but from watching your stream and others testing the affix, the new affix feels like its own standalone affix and was created without other affix combinations in mind. I'm not sure what you mean. It definitely does feel like a standalone affix, just like all the others, yeah. Okay, here's another guy. This affix is not fun to play. The design principles behind the affix are fairly obvious, and I think the mark was missed completely. 1. Promote single target damage dealers. This was done in the least creative and least fun way possible. Basically, just litter the dungeon with insane, unsufferable priority mobs. See, like, when you use words like this, it makes me, like, very skeptical of your opinion, you know what I mean? Insane, unsufferable priority mobs. Like, that's just so silly, man. I don't know. One thing I've noticed about Classic fans is that they can't stand it if someone just enjoys retail. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while, Loop. It's a sad thing, man. There's like a great schism between the two communities, and it doesn't seem like anybody can enjoy both equally. It's really, I feel like I'm one of the only people who can enjoy both equally. You get in now, but all servers are still offline. Oh, really? I can get in? All right, let's do that. Let's get out this fucking garbage. Anyway, people who say Classic is harder are just noobs at leveling. Yeah, we've talked about this. Like, Classic's leveling, like, or the Classic challenge is more linear. Like, it's a better progression, you know? The challenge you'll face in the first hour of the game and the first month of the game are the same. Hey, Loop4X just subscribed. Thanks a lot, man. Like, the challenge that you'll face is very, like, steady, you know? The increase is steady. But, yeah, I mean, that's it. That's where it ends. You know what I'm saying? Like, the challenge from the beginning of Classic to the end of Classic is more uniform. Whereas on Live WoW, the early game Classic, or the early game challenge is not existent, right? There's no challenge to it at all. And then the end game is like a monument. Like, it's fucking giant. You know what I mean? It's massive. So that's a problem in its own way. But Classic is way harder to level. It's really not, though. That's the thing. People are just fucking bad at it. That's the thing. People don't understand that you can literally grind mobs that are 3 levels lower than you very fast, actually, almost as fast as doing quests, and never die a single time. You know what I mean? Like, what's hard about that? That's fucking joke mode. There's no challenge to that at all. People who think it's hard, they go out of their way to make it hard on themselves because they're not experienced, they're noobs, or they're just doing something that's suboptimal one way or the other. You know what I mean? Anyway, these are the same people who said, how can we do reaping? That's going to be like 100 mobs at once. You might be right about that, Faxi. Anyway, they should spawn in randomly like the Waycrest witches. I'd love to see the forum salt there. Be interesting. That's if your only goal is to hit 60 and not play the game. What? No, that has nothing to do with it. Anyway, people make fun of Demon Hunters, 3 buttons to press, then play Classic, and have 3 buttons to press and love it. That's actually a good point, Mr. J. You're right about that. They are random, just weekly. I wouldn't say random, but yeah, I mean, they're actually the same thing. Highest point is actually the same as Faxi's, just coming from a different perspective. It's just grindy, and pulling a mob one by one isn't hard. It's just boring. Yeah, I'm saying it's like objectively not hard, right? Like, if you do what I've demonstrated to be a very effective way of leveling in Classic, you will have no challenge whatsoever. It's just, you know, but people think like, oh, because these quests that they think it's the only way to level make them go do hard shit. It's like, just don't do them. You get experience from all these other things almost as quick as questing, so why do it? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. All right, anyway. Back to this. Build into the affix a way to make packs unskippable so that you are forced to do them. Again, just an incredibly unfun and uncreative solution to something that was hardly even a problem. A giant true side circle that pulses damage, really? The obvious solution here was to have some sort of system where if you conquer these difficult packs, you get a party-wide damage boost, haste buff, or maybe time added on the timer. It's true. I mean, I understand people saying, like, this is not the most creative solution to these problems, but I don't know, man. Like, I wish that it was more creative, but it's like, at the same time, it's really not that not creative either. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Classic is easy, just grindy. Yeah, definitely agree with Sean. You probably went over this. Can I tell me again how the new affix works? Jim, I have an entire video on the topic, man. Check it out. It's on the channel. You'll be able to find it pretty easy. Think I'll AoE grind with my mage and Lights Hope. Sweet, man. Hey, Azrite. How's it going, buddy? What are you up to? But yeah, I mean, I totally understand, like, the people who are like, oh, well, it's not a very creative way to solve these problems, but it's kind of is. It kind of is it's like a relatively creative way to solve these problems. I mean, this is like not a very creative way to describe your concern with the affix, right? Oh, I'm not even showing that anymore. Huh, whoops. Anyway, I'm reading this. This is not a very creative way to show your concern with the affix either, right? Like, anybody could say that about anything. You know what I mean? Whether or not it's less or more creative is, you have to prove that you have something that could be more creative. So, I mean, the person saying, like, you could add a buff or make timer, like added time to the timer when you kill these mobs, that's not really in the vein of what the affix is supposed to be, right? Like, I mean, that sounds more creative, but it would just be imbalanced. Like, that would be the first time that would happen. It would require completely different, like, people would approach dungeons completely differently. It's just not what they're going for. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't really know. Please consider that there's plenty of time to complete. No, there's not. I don't know. This is like, these people are really confusing to me. Plenty of time to completely rework this affix. Do we think that? I don't. Try to take into account what players find fun in Mythic Plus and incorporate in a way that fits what you want to accomplish. See, I think, again, you have to be aware that just because you find something fun doesn't mean that it's aligned with what they want to accomplish. So if people find things fun that are just easy and the challenge is supposed to be hard, then they don't go hand in hand. I don't know, man. I look at it like this: no matter what Blizzard choose for an affix, people would complain. You're definitely right about that, Faxi. Are the spawn points of the emissaries random? Nah, not random. It's like gonna be just like infested, basically. Like it's handpicked. It's gonna be the same throughout the entire week, and then next week gonna be different. And then maybe the week after that gonna be different again. Week after that gonna be maybe different again, and then that fourth week it's gonna be the same as the first week. You know what I mean? Yeah, like Faxi said, 3 to 4 different patterns. Yeah. Just looking forward to something new. A harder fix won't make delete and quit, I'm sure. With gear and some creative play, these affixes will be fine and exploitable. Yeah, Matt, you're onto the right sentiment there, because don't forget, like, the fix is not just going to be, like, permanently hard. If you do a 10, it's going to be easier than if you do a 20. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know. The point is we don't need a fourth affix. In my opinion, they do think we need a fourth. Why do they think we need a fourth affix? I don't know about that. You're right. I would remove one affix. I would be fine with, like, that's not what we're talking about here, regardless. But I like the idea of a seasonal affix that's based on the current atmosphere of the patch. I like the idea of one that changes every season. I quite like this. But having 4 affixes total, I could see that being, that's too many probably. New routes basically mean new dungeons almost. Yeah, definitely. The way they do proliferate is going to be huge. Of course not. If they rework it, they will have to delay season 3. Yeah, exactly. There's no time for that. It's dumb, and it's just there to slow us the key. It's there to make the key more challenging. All right, let's be serious about this, right? Like, the point of a 5-man is to be challenging. These make the dungeon more challenging. It's not there to make it longer. That's not the point. It's there to give you another way to be challenged by the dungeon. Whereas in challenge modes, you did the dungeon the exact same fucking way every single time you've ever done it. There was no change. Nothing new was ever going to happen in those dungeons. So this is the point of the affix and the point of the season as well. The seasonal affix. So, well, you're not challenged in Legion. Yep. Same way, but again, did the dungeon almost the same way every time. You know what I mean? There was no difference from season to season. There wasn't even seasons in Legion. So this is definitely more interesting, Aren't the realms up in NA yet? No, still not up. We've been waiting for a while now. But at least we're able to log into the game now, which is different. What exactly is challenging about CCing a mob and killing the rest of the pack separately? That you described it. I ain't hardcore. I'm only clearing 12 to 13s. The dungeons are still fun, yeah. Hey, Metro, do you know if the loot from Mythic 10 is higher? Hey, Lord Souther, long time no see, man. Holy shit. And higher is going to go to 430 when Mythic Palace opens. No, I don't think so. I think the way it is on the PTR is how it will be staying, but I don't know for sure. They haven't said. Do they have similar affixes in Legion? The non-seasonal affixes were the same in Legion, yeah. What else? What exactly is... Okay, I read that. Can we agree that the words slow the dungeon down equals make dungeons more challenging? I don't think so, because people make it sound like it's a bad thing. Like, if the dungeon isn't supposed to be challenging, so they just make it longer, which is not what they're doing. Fort or Tyrannical is pretty dumb. I'd like to see both bosses and trash split that difficulty and health, then keep it static. That would be the one thing that I would definitely agree with. Like, if they made a change, I would want to see Fortified or Tyrannical removed. People have to remember these testings, no essences, and no new raid gear. Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of the same, right? Because once you have those things, you'll just be doing like 20s instead of 15s or something like that. Was that answer ironic? About what exactly is challenge? Yeah, I mean, that's part of the game, man. You know what I'm saying? Challenging, like, you might be thinking of it wrong. You know what I mean? Like, executing a strategy is what is challenging. So if the strategy is CCing a mob and killing the rest of the pack and then killing that pack, the challenging part will be making that happen in a way that is facilitating clearing the dungeon on time. You know what I mean? That's the challenge. That's the intrinsic challenge in a timed 5. And that's the goal of the system. So, yeah, it's the strategy building around that is what is the challenge. You know what I'm saying? What's with the lawnmower? 2019. It's summer. I don't know what to tell you. Wait, what's the eye level on PTRs? They get 420 currently. As of this weekend's testing, we got 420 gear. And they were able to Titan Forge up to 455, it looked like. We got a 455, so. Taking a nap while baby's asleep. Leaving stream up. Catch you later. Have a great day. All right, Bolus. Thanks for stopping by. All right, anyway, we haven't read it in a while. Let's keep going. Did you guys miss the incredibly negative perception of infested and comparatively insane positive perception of reaping? No, they just realists. They know why people dislike and like things. I can't think of any other reason you design another slow affix that forces you to pull small and shifts the difficulty of the dungeon into the affix rather than the mechanics of the mobs themselves. Shift the difficulty of the dungeon into the affix. I don't know, man. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Also, this rotating weekly thing I read about is cancer. Completely ruins any amount of planning you can do to get a solid route you like down. What? No, it doesn't. It's not going to be completely random. I don't know if these people think it's going to be completely random. The rotating thing, it's like next week the mobs are just going to be all stacked on top of each other sometime or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if 420 was the first week thing, and then when Mythic Raid comes out, it jumps to like 430. I wouldn't be surprised by that either, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they made it so like, you know, the should just give less gear. Anyway, okay, let's keep going. Okay, this was one of the posts I had read. AFK wall, dog needs to go. Oh, sweet. So this is one of the posts I read earlier in the week, and this is one I definitely wanted to read here today. Okay, Etchzogzaz or some random ass name. I am a very avid Mythic Plus player. Let's confirm that first of all. Not that I don't believe the guy, but if you're gonna make that claim, let's just make sure of it. Okay, 24 in time. Very avid Mythic Plus player. I would agree. Okay, anyway. I multi-class and have thousands of runs in both Season 1 and Season 2. In Season 1, I was #1 Shadow Priest in NA, #2 in the world. And currently, I am 3.5k IO Rogue and 3k Ellie. I just say this to give some background into my feedback. I think in general, the season's affix really misses the mark for a few big reasons. In Season 1, the general complaints were requiring too much... Wait, why is this in quotes? Required too much coordination in pugs, barrier of entry was too high, pace was too slow, overemphasis on certain classes, blood DK, rogue, etc. I don't understand. What? Required too much coordination in pugs. Disagree. Barrier of entry was too high. Vehemently disagree. What the fuck are you even talking about? Pace was too slow. I understand why people are saying that, but again, that's the goal of the fix. Overemphasis on certain classes. I don't. What did blood DK have to do with the fix? Season 1 affix. I don't get it. Anyway, in Season 2, reaping was seen as a very welcome change. I think on the whole, most of the Mythic Plus community, especially the higher end Mythic Plus community, enjoys reaping. It was fast paced and generally fun. The only negatives that I could think of hearing from most people in Mythic Plus community about reaping was that one was considered a little too easy. No, way too fucking easy. This is the thing that worries me when these like 3K people can't admit that. Like, a little too easy? Are you kidding me, dude? You probably combine every reaping pack into a boss every time you can, and you say that's a little too easy? Anyway, and 2, it was even more restrictive than infested in terms of ideal class comp. It wasn't restrictive. It's just that's how you maximized it, and that was not good for anybody. Anyway. Now I agree with both these points, but as far as the second point 2 goes, this IMO is due to Blizzard's unwillingness to balance comps for Mythic Plus than it was to the affix. Definitely partially true, but the thing is, you know, you can't just balance the game around Mythic Plus. There's other things to consider. I think he means at the start of the season for 10 you had almost had to be in Discord to get in a group. That was how it was for reaping too, though, right? Like, I don't know. Bud DK with AMS pre-nerf. Just don't really understand what that has to do with infested is my point. D&D slow and grip was very strong for infested worms. I guess so. I don't remember the mobs running very far. I would remember frost mages being very strong because they can just root them with the Nova. That was the thing that I always remember. I don't really remember gripping those mobs ever. Putting the slowdown was one thing, but like typically they would be running to a mob that was like 3 yards away from them, so you just need to stun them. Stun them was what I'd say was needed. Anyway, now this brings me to the new affix. I can honestly say that I was so excited for a new season affix. Season 2 was a little too long, especially with the lack of class balance, and I was hoping for something new and exciting. Instead, we were given Beguiling. I know throughout the 10 plus discords filled with 3K Mythic Plus players, there hasn't been one person yet who has talked about the new affix with excitement or anything but fear that it will kill keys. That's the sad thing, man. If that's actually like a fact where there's like 10 plus discords just somehow only filled with 3K players and none of them think they're going to have fun in Season 3. I mean, I don't know why you guys are playing the game in the first place. Anyway, now I think I can boil down to the fear down to a basic idea. Blizzard does not currently balance dungeon scaling, affixes, or classes. Look at the disparity between keys completed in Total Gore compared to King's Rest. Look at the disparity between that they did fix that, by the way. Look at the disparity between fortified, teaming, explosive weeks to tyrannical, busting, skittish weeks. Yeah, that's a regrettable situation for sure. Look at the class disparity between prot warriors, outlaw rogues, and resto druids. It's because of reaping. Now, I will wholeheartedly admit the difficulty of balancing all of the variables is a gargantuan task for anyone to accomplish. Good. You'd have to, right? Now it appears that Blizzard keeps kicking the can down the road on balancing these, and I'm not sure if it's just too difficult, which it might be, or whether Blizzard continues to regard Mythic Plus not as true endgame content. It's just, there's just too many things to balance it around, right? Like, you cannot balance the entire game around Mythic Plus. It's just not possible. I don't agree, but I was just saying that's what he was referring to. Gotcha. No affix is a pug killer. Infested equals wine. Reaping equals people happy. Beguiling equals even more wine. Next affix, people happy. Yeah, maybe it's like expansions where one's good, one's bad kind of thing. Anyway, whatever the reason, Mythic... Oh, wait, did I miss a whole comment? Yeah. Wait, no, I didn't. That's it? That's all he has to say? Whatever this reason, Mythic Plus is in a very poor state of balance, IMO. Yeah, and partially because of reaping. I mean, I don't know how people don't realize this. Like, reaping is the reason that things are so out of whack, because it was just like a fucking AoE fest, you know what I mean? Anyway, Blizzard is proposing as a seasonal affix to put in play a new variable that interacts with all other variables that they do not balance. Wouldn't say that. They've balanced a lot of affixes throughout this expansion. I mean, Grievous alone has been balanced like 3 times. Anyway, this is so frightening to me and a vast number of the high-end Mythic Plus community, at least all the ones I have talked to. Sad to hear that. This affix appears to take the worst part of Infested and expounds upon them. See, I don't think there was a bad part of Infested. I think the worst part of Infested was that people didn't deal with it the way Blizzard thought they would, like the way they wanted them to. That was the worst part about Infested, the way people dealt with it. Reaping is like playing Diablo. Yeah, it's a good way to put it, yeah. I have no clue what the logic is behind this affix. I think people think that. They say things like, I don't understand why you would do this affix. Because Reaping was just so free and so ridiculous that they're like, why would you possibly not have more free and ridiculous affixes? It's like, it was an outlier, dude. It wasn't supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be hard, and it wasn't. Think about how many of those mobs, those mobs could have all just been buffed by 50% or something like that, and it would have actually maybe been difficult. I don't know. Anyway, what is the thinking behind interjecting another variable that Blizzard neither intends to balance nor has... why do you say shit like that, man? Neither intends to balance nor has the capacity to balance. Why do you say shit like that, man? They literally already started fucking balancing the shit. On the PTR, there's already been balancing things done. You know what I mean? It's just so silly. I don't know. These people, I guess they're talking out of frustration because it's like hard to take this. This is not a respectable position in a lot of ways. Anyway, the affix will further expound upon the push week versus dead week disparity. So will every season, no matter what. That's a whole different issue. That's an issue that I don't think you can solve, sadly. There's always going to be a week that's just looked at as much easier, and I don't know if they can fix that. If you put a maiden in a certain pack certain weeks, it will essentially create weeks where that dungeon will hard cap at certain levels. I guess so, but I don't know about that. I mean, the fixes themselves are what makes it hard. I wouldn't say that the maiden's placement, the emissary's placement is going to make certain impossible. It's the only reason they play, and they're concerned. Yeah, it's just like I don't understand their reason for playing. If this is the only, if this is their position, it's hard to understand why they were doing it in the first place. It doesn't seem like they like 5-mans. It seems like they just liked reaping. You know what I mean? Reaping should have had the debuff. They do increase the damage a target takes by 1% without being able to dispel. That would make reaping actually challenging. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep, yeah, Faxy's right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, the main's placement is, I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. Anyway, okay, what else? Then you will have teams that only roll that key, and because Blizzard took away keystone deletion, oh my god, back to this, they will decide not to play the rest of the week. Gotcha. I've lost so many friends and good players to dead weeks, and I'm very afraid that this new affix will create dead weeks out of push weeks. I really hope Blizzard reconsiders this affix. I do not see any positives out of it so far. Now maybe if they brought back keystone deletion, Jesus Christ, to combat their lack of balance, I could see this affix working out. Without it, I fear season 3 may be the season that Mythic Plus died. I wouldn't be worried about that at all, man. If they cancel the MDI in season 3, then we could talk. But New affix looks terrible. Looks too slow. Looks annoying as fuck. Reaping was fun, even though it wasn't an issue. It was an issue for some classes. Yeah, I mean, it was fun because it was so easy, right? So I definitely think it's going to be challenging. And in terms of slow, I don't understand the point of calling it slow, because that's really the goal of the affix, is to make it challenging. But I don't know. Guess I'm the only person who feels this way. What else? So yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know. I could definitely agree. Like, the one thing I will say is I definitely agree that the push week versus, not push week is a big deal. I don't know how they fix this, honestly. I just wish people would do things because they enjoy them. That's the problem. That's what makes this push week thing a problem, is because people only do things when they could, like, they show off kind of thing. It's like, oh, I'm only going to do these on the easiest week so I can get score or something like that. It's like, well, why? Who cares? To fucking do it because you enjoy it, and then you don't care if it's like you're doing a 15 or an 18. I don't really care. I like doing 5-mans. You know what I mean? I would do 5-mans around the clock no matter what. Even if they had no affixes, even if they had 12 affixes, I don't really care. I'm going to do them. I'm going to enjoy them. I don't really give a fuck about EPing. I don't really care about, that kind of stuff. But, like, it does. Some weeks are not as fun to play for a blood DK. You know what I mean? But I can't expect them to remove that. I'm not going to say, oh, because they're not fun to tank on this week, they should change that. It's like, this is only one variable in a very multi-variable situation. People complain too much, where in some keys you won't even need to look at them, let alone pull them. That's true. Some of them are going to just be naturally skipped without even really trying. You're right. Group stopping play when they don't have favorable keys is a real problem. My group stopped Saturday night and rolled nothing but motherloads and Waycrest continually. So that's a problem with the Keystone system. I totally agree with that, Mike. Like, that, the Keystone system needs to be fucking redesigned for sure. I think it's got some major problems, but the actual, like, the way dungeons work are not problematic to that, in my opinion. It's just, it really sucks when you have no control over what key you're doing, So even if you can't reroll just for easier dungeons, yeah, I think there needs to be some kind of currency that allows you to reroll your key. That would be my my solution. Pay the $9.99 a month to have fun. If not, chill. Gotcha. I think it comes down to that some weeks for me, do 16, and other weeks 13 is hard. So some weeks you go back in progress. That's not a fun feeling. It can't be, though. That's the thing, Greg. Like, I wish it was that way for sure. But it can't be. Like, there's going to be affixes that are going to be harder for you. There's going to be affixes that are going to be harder for others. There's going to be affixes that are just going to be harder altogether. Like, for me, my favorite week is the week that's hardest. That's the one I enjoy playing the most, because I like my character being challenged. You know what I mean? But we don't do very well that week. So it's like, I don't really care. I still do it. I still have fun doing it. The weeks I don't have fun doing, maybe they're easier. I don't really, like, that has nothing to do with why I play the game. You know what I mean? I do things because I enjoy them. If I don't enjoy them, I don't do them. That's just a fact. That's why I don't PvP. You know what I mean? If at any point, like, PvP was the best way to get something, I don't care. I'm not going to do it. I don't do that. You know what I mean? So that's just, I feel like very few people play the game because they enjoy it anymore. They're always looking for some kind of, like, hierarchy of skill to brag about. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look, I did this, I did that. You know what I mean? That's why they do things. They don't really enjoy getting to that point. They enjoy the outcome of it. Anyway, the Void Touch Emissary. The Queen's Decree is a one-shot every 8 seconds. False. There are several one-shot mechanics in Mythic Plus, but this one seems to be overpowerful, i.e. the punishment doesn't fit the crime. We've talked about this already. I do think the Void Touch Emissary is overtuned in at least one of 3 ways. The Enchanted Emissary. Her energy level to cast her teleport ability needs to be trackable. It is. It looks like you need to drop her from 100 to 90 for this cast to happen. No, it's to 0. It seems it would be more satisfying or understandable to have her... That's how it works. This guy's confused, I guess. New season affix. Must PvP every 6-pack. That won't happen. Alexander, what's up, buddy? How's it going, man? I agree with you, Metro. As a tank coming back in 815 with reaping and relearning how to play my class is a very good positive to this game for. I think people like a challenging week in and week out, and some people don't. Yep, that's fine. Like I said, whatever. If you don't enjoy playing the game, don't play it. It's just like the things that this is like concerning to me, right? It's like these people who are supposedly like extremely serious about it, they don't seem to be like, let's put it this way. I don't know. I'm probably wrong in saying this, but if it was me, if I was in this position and I was like very serious about this stuff, like if this was like my livelihood in the game, and they changed it and made it harder, I would be like immediately thinking of ways to to do it better. That when a challenge is presented to me, I immediately start scanning my brain for ways to make my job easier. You understand? Like, that's the way I approach a challenge. If suddenly, like, life gives you lemonade or lemons or whatever, I immediately try to find a way to make lemonade. That's just how I've always been. Like, if you're going to tell me, like, okay, well, now everything in your life is going to get 50% harder, I'm going to be like, all right, how do I get 50% better at everything in my life? That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? For me, these people are the opposite, it seems like. They're doing things that are considerably more impressive than I am, but it seems like they're only doing it. I don't know why. I'm not really sure. Fame? Glory? Their friends are doing it? I guess. I don't know. They should have a rare drop profession material that allows you to reroll keys. There's a bunch of ways that you could make a reroll system work for sure. Any of you guys keeping up with E3 this year? These announcements are giving me a chubby. Nah, I don't really. I only really play computer games. But then again, affixes are supposed to push you regardless if it's a speed clear or coordinated clear. Yeah, make Lemonade Man all day. Yeah, I mean, that's the way. That's the way of it. I also love the opinion of people posting on level 90s. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even see that. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. That's just the way I've always been. So I guess I'm different in that way. But, like, no matter what happens here, I'm going to find a way to be the best blood death knight I can be under these scenarios. So I'm not going to complain about it. You know what I mean? It's their game. I don't really care why they make these changes. If they make these changes and they don't make the game, like, physically unplayable, like, actually, like, crash and lag and I can't play my character, then I'm going to enjoy playing it. Anyway, okay, another issue is if you do not drop combat while they are casting, their teleport and their cast is a little long. So this is the number one criticism, I would say. I think I posted that in the thread here. The cast is too long, for sure. It's not that it slows down the dungeon more. It just prevents you from dropping combat pack to pack. If you kill that mob at the end of a pack, you will still be in combat by the time you get to the next pack. And that is not good. If that pack is the last thing alive, combat should drop regardless. But if the goal, we talked about this in the future, so hopefully we'll get to that. But if the goal of it is to make it so the mob kind of lingers after it's been killed, then I get that. But it's like, it should not linger after all the other stuff is dead, right? 10-second cast, yeah. Hi, Metro. I really enjoy watching you play. I'm thinking about resubbing after 6 months of not playing WoW. Do you think Vengeance Demon Hunter Gluttony talent will become viable in 8.2? Yes. His Infernal Majesty. I definitely think Vengeance is going to be a lot stronger. And I do like the Gluttony idea. I think, the buff to meta is going to be massive, and that's going to help a lot. That cast just makes it more challenging. Good one. You're not much for a reason today, huh? Realize that most forum goers are negative and specifically there to complain. Positive people that like challenge aren't there. They'll just wait and play it. I would say that too, Haya, but it's like then you get like this guy who's like actually like he actually is serious about it. Like it's just confusing to me. I don't really get it. I'm not much for understanding this, to be honest. I don't really understand it. This is always like kind of baffled my mind. I don't get it how like a top world player could be like, yeah, this is, I don't know. I just don't really get it. Anyway, let's see. There are way too many of these present in the dungeons. Need to be scaled back some for sure. The Void Emissary is pretty clearly overtuned. Either the damage needs to be scaled back or the HP of the mob needs to be dropped so you can just blast them with funnel. Single target damage before they get 2 casts off. So that's like, is this really the only answer? I don't think so, right? Like, the health doesn't, the damage does, I would say the damage should be scaled back, yes. I wouldn't say they need to just make them, like, killable in 10 seconds. That's not, because that's not going to help in the higher affixes, right? Anyway, the other emissaries seem fine, and the affix will function as intended by forcing you to do dungeons differently based on their placement. Good. I don't think this is very fun. I understand the idea behind it, but BFA dungeons already take forever, and they really don't. We talked about this already. Like, I think it's like on average like a 2 minutes longer, the timer. Maybe it's changed now since they've changed so many timers. And have very hard trash. This will just slow dungeons down even more and make trash even worse. I sincerely hope the fortified does not affect the emissaries, because if it does not, that will be ridiculous. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know how fortified is going to work. That would probably agree. I would probably agree with that. That would be imbalanced, because Tyrannical is not going to do shit to them, and then fortified, yeah, I would say it shouldn't affect them. If possible, I would recommend a serious rework of what these emissaries do and consider giving players a buff if they have killed the mobs or something like that. Yeah, it'd be cool. Like a buff, some kind of buff. If you kill all the emissaries or something like that, you get some kind of buff. There was stuff of that data mined, so I don't know. You rarely comment a product if you're satisfied, though. Yeah, you're right. Myself, I'm looking forward to changes in Mythic dungeons. Even though I have difficulty adapting, I'm going to do my best to learn and be good at it, sweet man. No, I just never likes the fourth affix, and honestly, I'm a little over it. The only way I can show my dissatisfaction is to quit BFA, so after 1,600 Mythic Plus runs, I guess that's what I'll do. If that's the way you feel, then, yep. Let me know so we could get some more players in the guild. Did he say BFA instances are longer? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's actually, Faxi, that's been something that's been talked about. Like, people have been talking about that for a long time, man. People have been saying that the dungeons are longer for a long time, but it's not true. Like, there's facts here, you know what I mean? Like, having an opinion on this is, I don't know. It's like people actually understand that, people don't actually understand that the dungeons are, you know, they're actually timed dungeons, you know what I mean? Like, there's a timer that measures how long they are. You know what I mean? It's like, if, like, suddenly, you know, it's like, it doesn't even make sense. There's people doing, like, 25s and shit. Obviously, they're able to do them in a half hour. You know what I mean? My Mythic Plus Hunter cleaves really hard, though. Priority targets. This effect is perfect for me. Nice, man. It takes 20 to 30 to time most keys. How is that long? And I'm talking about a +2. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sure, Legion had the super fast instance in Maw. Yep. There was only one really short one, and that was Maw. And I guess Court. Court was, like, the timer was kind of long, but most people, like, completed in under 20 minutes, even on higher keys. If you got the right buffs, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, but I don't know, like, there was, like, 2 really long dungeons. And even Seat was pretty long. How long was Seat's timer? So, yeah, I don't know. Definitely wouldn't say dungeons are longer in BFA. I think that's, like, factually wrong to say that. Especially now that they've nerfed a couple of them. So I don't know. My biggest issue with these so far is that they slow down every dungeon considerably. I think going back to the premise of affixes in the first place, they are a way to keep us interested in doing the same dungeon week after week for 2 years. Going by that, affixes should be ways to make dungeons more interesting and engaging. Okay. Kind of read too fast. I think going back to the premise of affixes in the first place, they are a way to keep us interested in doing the same dungeon week after week for 2 years. Yeah, that's definitely what their purpose is. Going by that, affixes should be ways to make dungeons more interesting and engaging, as opposed to things that make dungeons arbitrarily more slow and inconvenient. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the same shit every time. Hey, what's up, Lord D? How you going? Seat was 36, Vault was 36, Blackrock was 38, and 2 45s. Oh, really? I didn't realize. I thought Seat was longer than 36. Nelts was 33. What else? Sorry for going a little off topic, but do you need to wait long for full groups when doing your own keys as DPS? I would say, yeah. Finding a group as a DPS is probably quite hard. Could bring in challenge armor. Could bring challenge armor in and bring back Shadow Reed gear to deal with it. Huh? I don't know what that means. Oh, Shadow resistance gear. I don't think that's the right idea. Do people really believe we aren't going to find ways to make these things trivial? I guess so. Just a lot of people who aren't, like, thinking clearly on the topic, I guess. I don't know. I am all for the affixes changing how we have to tackle each dungeon, but to slow down Mythic Plus is it's not going to slow. The timer's still the same, dude. Anyway, what else? Honestly, my only wish for the future is bigger dungeons like Freehold. Yeah, Labonte, I would totally agree with that. Freehold's probably my favorite dungeon because of that. Like, you have a lot of options on how you can pull the trash and what you can pull. And I totally understand, like, the concern there. Like, for Freehold, you know, the emissaries, I don't know if there's going to be more of them or what, but, like, there's so much trash in that dungeon that it's like you have a lot of options to pull and to not pull. But in King's Rest, it's like you don't have any options. You're going to have to fight that trash. There's nothing you can skip. So, yeah, that's a problem for sure. We need 2-hour dungeons like BRD. Yeah, sadly, people, like, already skip everything in BRD, even on private servers. Mechagon seems like that'll be like that in Season 4. Yeah, Mechagon's going to be pretty fun. But it's going to be cut in half, don't forget, so it's not going to be long. Apparently, so even our good bud Icebox seems to just block it out. Anyway, that's also why Freehold is my favorite. There are limitless amounts of routes. Yeah, there's so much trash in that dungeon that you would never even think about, like, looking at. It's pretty cool, man. Metro looking like he's about to drop a fire rap album. It's just a little chilly out today, and I don't want to close all the windows. I hate narrow hallways and dungeons. Freehold feels so forgiving with how open it is. Yep, that's a big part of it too, Stromy. Like, affixes like Sanguine and shit have gotten a lot worse because of that. Legion Kara, probably top 5 dungeons ever. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Legion Kara, honestly, man. All right, anyway. I remember someone said in Freehold on MDT, if you click all the trash, it's like 207%. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Molo's even worse, you're right. Yeah, I like those dungeons for those reasons, for sure. All right, what's this guy? Hey, Coop here. Oh, what? Your name is Daberin. So does Beguiling have the ability to change people's perception that you need the meta comp from a 26 to do 15s on time? No, that's just the way the game, like, that's just the people. That has nothing to do with the season, sadly. Okay, I played a lot of the first half of Season 2 as Rank 1 Alliance Resto Druid for a little while and chested the world's first 25 keyless expansion. So I hope from that I have a good grasp on the current dungeon class / meta Mythic Plus, along with a strong love and passion for Mythic Plus's endgame content. With that said, I actually disagree with the consensus of just wanting a Reaping 2.0 for the next season. Oh, damn. I think that having players change their route every week was a great part of Season 1, although through a not very fun affix Infested. Meticulously planning your route is a great part about Mythic Plus, and I think that one of the things that sets it apart from raiding, having a different experience almost every time you walk into a dungeon. I totally agree. I'm glad that this guy agrees with that. I think Beguiling has the opportunity to be a great affix, but there would need to be an overhaul of mob balance in dungeons, not to mention the inherently overpowered emissaries. Should all packs be the same difficulty? Of course not. But should the constructs in Ataldazar exist as they are now? They've been nerfed already. Or the mini-boss present in Shrine of the Storm? More of an example of how low mob percentage values more than pure difficulty. Yeah, there's been a lot of changes to these things, so I would expect to continue seeing more. I wish that were more frequently, but yeah, I wouldn't expect this to be a problem. Anyway, I think it's possible to have an affix that forces you to change your route every week and play the dungeons differently, but it's also possible to have that same affix not slow everyone down and cause you to quit the game every other week, depending on where the emissaries are, along with other affix combos, making most dungeons far too frustrating to play at a high level. I see. Also, in reference to another's post, the Infested affix was only bearable in Season 1 because of Keystone deletion. Yeah, man, this whole Keystone deletion, it's weird that this is brought up again. Something your team said didn't matter because it only affected us. I don't think that was ever said, dude. Anyway, if I apply that logic to... Jesus Christ, are you really going to fucking say that shit, man? I was with this guy until he brought up genocide. Holy shit. Anyway, can't change people being dumb. Yeah, it's just like that pack mentality is like part of how we evolve, so it's always going to be there. I hope that if anything Season 3 does, it's that the meta just gets... Yeah, the meta is going to change, Deathforge, for sure. It might end up being the same result, like rogues and resto druids and warriors might still be the best, but the reasons they're going to be the best will have changed, and that means the meta has changed. What Season 4 affix is already leaked? Let me copy pasta. Punish Rio de Janeiro for it. Why? What's Rio de Janeiro done? Post was 3 days ago before nerf notes, I think. Yeah, I guess so. I guess people just weren't aware of them at the time. What's this? Anyway. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I definitely agree. I'm glad that this guy doesn't just want... Because, you know, like Reaping was... You handled it the same way no matter what. Teaming was the only thing that ever changed Reaping. And that's a shame. That's a real fucking shame. I just think Reaping was a very bad affix. I think it did a lot of things that were just absolutely degenerative gameplay. Like, it was not good for anybody. So, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. All right, so now we got a new guy. Let's see. Who brought up genocide? This guy. If I apply that logic to genocide, saying those people are a small amount of your overall population, so it just doesn't matter, does the logic hold up? You just made a fucking asinine claim, so no, the logic doesn't hold up. It has nothing to do with this situation. Anyway, Reaping Blue, I would have taken... Yeah, Infested, I really liked Infested. The only thing I didn't like about Infested was that... It just, yeah, you couldn't actually, like, nobody did it the way, nobody actually CC'd anything. This is the leak, supposed leak. Sacred Vines. Every 2 minutes, Cenarius appears. That's not going to happen. The fuck? What the hell is Cenarius going to have to do with this? Standing near the bramble will root your character to death. I don't think that's going to happen, man. Sorry. I don't know where you saw that, but I don't think Cenarius is going to be involved in Season 4. If I'm wrong, I guess I'd be interested in seeing how, but... I imagine Season 4 we're going to the Black Empire or something like that. It's going to be like Old God, permanently Old God. People only like reaping because, oh my god, my numbers. Yeah, definitely. Check MMO champion. Either way. Don't think it's happening. What are we checking? Wait, I just logged on and we're talking about genocide? Yeah, you can blame this foreign post. Okay, let's keep reading. I think I can speak for anyone here who plays video games or plays Mythic Plus that this affix is the most chemo and... So, this is the kind of shit that really bothers me, man. Kovdova's, yeah, you got a red blood DK. So does oh yeah, no, yeah, I think it was you. I noticed on a YouTube video. I personally hated infested. When a mistake was done, you were in trouble, and if you had to start over with 2 to 3 infested in one pack, GG, right? I think people thought reaping was super easy to deal with. Season 3 doesn't look easy quite yet. In the same breath, I feel like Season 3's affixes needed to tweak a bit. Yeah, there's some things that can be tweaked. Hey Sarah, what's up? Was infested that hard? I don't remember it being a big deal. Kill the mob, kill the infested, move on. It wasn't hard at all, no. People just never did it the way that Blizzard wanted them to, so it was kind of awkward. Wait, what? Justin Bieber wants to fight Tom Cruise? It was on MMO Champion. Oh, really? Didn't hear about that. Okay, anyway, where do I start? So this is the kind of shit that, like, I wish was, like, bannable, honestly. Like, if it was me, I would ban anybody who says this shit. Chemo-inducing. I mean, I don't even want to read these things out because people actually fucking die from these things. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to describe something that you don't like in a video game as AIDS-infested crap. Just go somewhere else, dude. Just don't play the game anymore then. You know what I mean? If at any point you're that upset with a game that you're going to, like, that just really works my gears. I don't like that at all, man. I really don't like that at all. Anyway, where do I start? The arcane emissary that makes all ads around it immune to interrupts, blah, blah, blah. And then the emissary being placed in notoriously ruthless caster ad spot. What the fuck did these people think was going to happen? I don't get it. What did you think they were going to do? You think they're going to just put them in a solo pull? There's just one mob there. Couldn't be stunned or gripped or knocked back or anything anyway, so let's put that mob there. Like, what the fuck? That's the whole fucking point, man. I don't know, man. Dull moments in Metro Stream? No, that will never happen. If it did, I would be surprised. There are dull moments, yeah. With the affix follows dialogue. You fight with noble hearts. Could it be true? Could the darkness be in sacred vines entangle the corrupted? Oh, you even spelled the word wrong. Nice. Infested wasn't hard, but it made people actually use CC, and I like that. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Like, the CC thing was a really good thing about Infested, and that's something that I am looking forward to coming back to the game. Like, I don't know, this whole, like, balls to the wall AoE shit, this is not what 5-mans are supposed to be about, man. And they never have been about that. Why you make game harder? We want upgrade, not hard. Please take hard back, yeah. You think Bear is going to be a top tank next season? Probably not, but it's definitely going to get a lot fucking better, man. Shut the fuck up. I'm on the phone, not good at typing on the phone. Gotcha. It's all good, man. All right, anyway, okay. For example, in a Taldazar on the left side with the Confessor and an Augur, both requiring multiple kicks just to be killed, or the still massively overtuned casters in King's Rest after second boss. I just fail to see how this is fun, especially considered tanks in the game get annihilated by casters. Yeah, I mean, you just CC the mob and then pull the pack back. I guess people just literally didn't think of that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I gotta put my phone on the charger, though. Just 1 second. Okay. Alex is a sub on your channel. What? Infested made people think and made more focused the little Gahoon ads when they spawn and use CCs, stuns and knockbacks to prevent them from infesting other mobs. Yeah, I think Infested was a great affix, honestly. Infested brought back fundamental mentality with CCs and not zerging everything. Yep, that's the funniest part about this, right, Nicholas Paris? That's what the game should be, right? Like, you should actually have to think about what you're pulling, think about how you're pulling it, CC occasionally, you know what I mean? But everybody just wants things to be like, go, 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 oh my god, AoE, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's good for the game. Anyway, so actual fixed question, how hard is a knockback ad going to be in dungeons like Waycrest where the pulls are tight and extra packs get pulled? Yeah, it's pretty easy. You can literally just have a healer taunt it or get threat on it and pull it away and just kind of face tank it. It's not that big of a deal. You don't actually have to knock it back to deal with it. You can just separate it in another way. So if literally the healer just taunts it and does a little bit of damage to it, it'll be on him as long as nobody hits it. Oh, yes. Do you remember that, Sarah? Infested was great until your pet betrayed us. I CC'd one of the mind control mobs that was infested, and it didn't work. Anyway, Mad's funny. I was just being dumb, like these commenters. Nice. CC, what's else? She's saying is all you will be doing in Classic too. Yeah, no, unfortunately not. It's the other way around. AoEing is all you'll be doing in Classic now. With Pally tanks and Druid tanks, people have realized that you can just bring like 2 mages and just fucking light everything up. It's kind of crazy how Classic has changed over the years, even though nothing has actually changed about it. Alex, this is really sad to see. What is... bursting weeks often remind me how people mindlessly AoE. Yeah, spread AoE just blindly. That's the big problem with busting. Hey, Matt. Hey, Big Matt. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Were you able to confirm the knockback emissary does... I don't know. We didn't have it happen, Alex. I've seen people say it does. I've seen people say it doesn't. I think what they were saying it doesn't do is if it goes into the pack itself, it won't pull the mobs. But if it has like Sunfire on it or something like that, it will. But I don't really know. As someone who loves the MDIs, this season of MDIs was actually the worst one I've ever seen. I went into this season excited. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be probably the worst event they've ever held. Yeah, if people are online, show me. That's the goal, obviously. Yeah, got to get Raucous done. We'll just make line of sight and CC a thing again. Yep, that's a good thing, man. I don't know. The problem is that most people are stupid, and stupid people don't like to be challenged to solve problems. They just want to mash buttons and look at the numbers. I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, I would like the sentiment is the case. Like people don't want to think. They don't want to have to think more than they had to in the past. You know. I don't know. Realms are still down, yeah. Anyway, the commenters, man, it's just sad to see how so-called legit players are reacting to harder fixes, making it challenging. I think it looks fun, yeah. Is it really that bad to like big pulls and big numbers in a game? It's not bad, but you should just recognize that that was never the goal. You know what I mean? Like people should recognize that that wasn't like they may have done it so that you can do a bunch of AoE, but it was never supposed to be that mindless. It was not like there was supposed to be actual challenge there, and there just never ended up being challenge there. So yeah, and that's the other thing, Nicholas. There was just the same comps. It was really bad. This I can't watch this MDI. It's sad, but it's hard to enjoy. Okay, anyway. The Shadow Ad DPS race. What a cute name. Some people actually give this mob. 8 seconds, 50% max HP, wave of death that will wipe your group on the third cast. The simple solution is to just line of sight it, but the fact that you have to peek in and out to damage this mob so you don't die is so mind-numbingly slow, meticulous, and boring. So meticulous, obviously the wrong fucking word to use there. But I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily find it boring. I don't necessarily find it exciting either, but it's a new type of challenge for 5-mans that I do think is interesting. Bring a heavy single target class. You're actually pretentious if you think that is going to solve the issue of this ads. But it would, right? You don't bring a heavy single target class to Mythic Plus for one fucking ad. No, but it's going to make them more interesting, right? You're going to bring heavy utility, high damage classes like Rogues and Demon Hunters that have great single target and AoE, further establishing the meta. Right, but they don't have, like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. If you can do good single target damage to that mob, then that's valuable. So if it's a Rogue, then that's cool. That has nothing to do with why they were good in Season 2, though. I'm just going to skip the last Emissary since I kind of like the Reflect Aura ad, and the reason why is because the meta healer, the rest of Druid, can just Moonfire the thing away and use Typhoon, so at least this ad isn't really that big of an affix. So it's a shame that this guy is like, oh, this ad's just easy, so I don't have any criticism of it, is basically what he's saying. It's just such a point. I don't know, man. I think from talking about the season affix, it's clear to me that the fourth affix idea has tremendously failed. All it has done is solidify the meta in every season harder than it did in Legion, not counting the tank healer spot that has always been 1-in-1. Infested in Season 1 was not fun because there were 3 rotations of it that interacted with the 12 rotations of affixes. That was why it was fun to me. And it was clear to anyone that one of the 3 infested rotations had like 5 plus and more than 5 or less than 5 infests of the entirety of the 10 dungeons, while the other 2 weeks had 20 plus, and you were just punished for playing the game on the off weeks where the infest was actually non-existent. So it's just a balancing thing. I don't know if that's actually a fact or what, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't really relate to these people. MDI is semi-dead, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, it's also at a terrible time, too. It's like so early. I don't know why they're having it in Australia. I can understand doing time trials for best times, but when competing, they need to mix it up. Ice Block. They should do the MDI like League of Legends does theirs. Each team gets a ban. Yes, I totally fucking agree with that. 100%. Absolutely. I think there should be bans on classes for sure. That would be something I would like to see. Anyway, I missed a bunch of comments. Last season was great for MDIs. I love seeing Dix Priest and Mystery Monks. Nice. Imagine if the MDI, you could only play the same comp once across the whole tournament. Yeah, I would love to see some kind of class limitation for sure. This is why I'm excited to try Classic. I want to see what dungeons were like when you really had to CC. Yeah, you don't, though. That's the thing, man. That's the thing. The only reason people think you had to CC in Classic was because of threat. The packs themselves died so fucking fast. Like, they would die in like 20 seconds if everybody just did full DPS, you know? So, you're not going to have to... If you CC in 5-mans, it's because you have bad tanks. There's maybe like 1 or 2 packs in 5-mans in Classic that are actually legitimately needing CC. Demon Hunter has good single target. I would say so, yeah. Anyway, it appears on the beta that the elites are hitting like wet noodles, so probably easy. Yeah, it's actually even easier than it was on private servers, apparently, so... Season 3 gonna be the worst one yet. What do you mean? Every team would just ban Rogue. That'd be fine. 1 ban per, you know. Ice Block, I thought of that too, but then you'd probably just end up with the same classes getting banned. Yeah, that's fine. That's how it works in League. People ban things that they know the other person is extremely good at, but 9 times out of 10 it's just overpowered things. So I'm surprised the bigger complaint isn't against Night Elf racials. Yeah, you can ban Night Elf too. That'd be cool. MDI in Australia because of Trump, the Hearthstone streamer? I don't think that has anything to do with it. Krillin Time. What's up, buddy? How's it going, man? Hey, now, that was my idea. Each team gets 2 class bans and 1 map bans. For fuck's sake. Idea stealers. It was actually my idea, so I'll see you guys in court. It was in Australia because of the Chinese players, I believe. They had an issue getting in the U.S. or something is what I heard. Oh, really? I don't know. MDI in Australia. I read that. Alliance is only ahead because of the Night Elf racial. Noob question, what is MDI? Mythic Dungeon Invitational. It's a tournament that Blizzard hosts. Just more fun to kill multiple ads than 1 ad that does cool stuff, I would say. I don't know. Yeah, I understand why people think it's going to be more fun, but unfortunately, that's not the only thing that's fun in 5-mans, you know? Good afternoon, Metro. I want to thank you for your content. Your videos have truly made me a better Death Knight player. Oh, sweet, man. Robert, that's awesome. I'm glad I could help with that, man. I didn't really do anything. So if you have any questions, let me know. Hearthstone streamer named Trump, yeah. Mythic Dungeon Invitational, yeah. Ah, thank you, no problem. Another season that Resto Druid in meta. Now they have the utility to knock back the enchanted emissaries. Yeah, I mean, so does Disc Priest. I mean, everybody, there's, you know, healer utility is far and wide, to be honest. Hug Knuckles TV says hello, what's up? Oh, wow, look at that. That's like white on the screen because he's got like the check mark or whatever. I know everyone thinks the Night Elf racial is overpowered, but what about the Dark Iron racial? Yeah, Dark Iron racial and Night Elf racial are both very strong. Maybe it will be Battle Res. I don't know. Haven't played it daily. I will give it a shot. What? Or maybe, wait, maybe it will be. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, I feel like everybody is against me on this, so I don't know what to say without upsetting people. Like, obviously, like, mass AoEing hundreds of mobs throughout the course of a dungeon is fun. Like, whatever. It's interesting because it's easy, right? Like, that's the way I look at it. Reaping was not challenging in any way, and, yeah. There was no real interest in it, you know what I mean? Like, it was just there, you killed it, that was it. People bragged about their DPS, even though it was trivially easy to kill, and that was it. So, I guess it was fun. I don't know. I guess I had fun doing it, too. I'm not saying I didn't, but it's not good for the system. It's not good for players. It's bad for overall damage comparisons. It's bad for everything. You know what I mean? I don't know. Both are broken compared to the Horde ones. Yeah. Your Blood DK video on Dancing Rune Weapon was a godsend. Oh, sweet, man. Robert, I would like to. I just don't have a lot of time to make videos. I probably should spend some time making videos today instead of this. But, yeah, I don't know. I'd love to, but I just I don't have a lot of time. I'd love to make one on a Death Grip. That would seem like a good one. Just came back to WoW after a break. Hug Knuckles. Checking out some YouTube streams for hype. Sweet, man. Well, we try to stream 4 days a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, around noon Eastern. Sometimes earlier, sometimes later. People freaked out when ESO announced 13.5 million players, not knowing it doesn't require subs. Yeah, that's not a lot, to be honest. WoW had that in, like, TBC. Anyway. True, the padding was annoying. Yeah, it ruined a lot of things about the game. Reap was fun, just made it less boring sometimes. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, if you find like the only thing that was fun about dungeons was mass AOE, then you probably just don't like dungeons, you know. Hugh, look at me, Outlaw Rogue, 200k Reap, 5k single target. Yeah. It would be fun if they made a horde mode. You mean like a mode where you just AOE the whole time? People complain about alliance ratios in Mythic Plus when horde ratios have been dominating rating for so long. Yeah, I wouldn't say complain, but you know, they point out things that are imbalanced about them. But you could at least decide when you want reaping. You can't do that with the new affix. Sort of. I mean, you can't really decide when you want it, right? It can only happen at the breakpoint, so you could skip the whole dungeon and then do something like that. But yeah, it doesn't. I mean, that's not really. I wouldn't say that. You can't decide anything about the new affix. You're right, but that's the goal. Like, the goal is to make you think pack to pack, whereas reaping didn't do that at all. And the funny thing about it was I felt like I was the only person who actually did that. Like, I made an entire video on when to proc reap, and like nobody else ever cared. It seemed like they would just let reap proc in the middle of packs. So I don't know. I'm level 109, leveling, and can't wait until 110 to 120 climb. Oh, Krillin, that's awesome, man. Congrats. Sarah says, was it fun? How many times can you just mass AoE and have it remain fun? Was easy, predictable, and not threatening. Yeah, it's just fucking stupid. It was just bad, honestly, by the end. The beginning may be interesting, but it was just bad by the end. People just don't want to learn. They suck outside of mindless AoE. Yeah, I could agree. Totally could agree. Do you think there is going to be a time where both factions are gone? Hopefully next expansion, Cobdova. That would be the #1 thing I would like to see, is removal of the factions. Or at least some type of desertion feature. In my opinion, Jesus Christ, Sacred Vines. It's not fucking happening. Are you just trolling? That's good trolling if you are. Sacred Vines. That's going to be a good one. Anyway, just imagine Fortified, Sanguine, and Necrotic Week for the new affix. Fortified, Sanguine, and Necrotic. Is that a combo? I don't know what. Necrotic isn't really going to be a problem. Why care when you can AoE them down blindfolded on 10s? When you play Rep Pally, I see you have fun. Yeah, I'm still gonna have fun playing Rep. It has nothing to do with Reap. It's funny to fucking flex on Reap, but it's not. It's just not good gameplay. Anyway, I don't know. I like the micromanaging of 30 seconds and 1 minute CDs to increase dungeon speed. Was never about damage. Oh, that's gonna be even more important on in this affix for sure. Managing your CDs so you're killing the ads properly is gonna be a huge deal. I want to see combat res being global inside Mythic Plus. Work exactly like now with the 3 charges, just not class specific. I wouldn't want to see that. No, I wouldn't want to see that. How would that impact the overall community if they got rid of factions? Double the game's population. That would be a good thing for the game, I think. I remember being able to chat cross-faction when the zombie infested. Oh, yeah, that was funny. I forgot about that. That was pretty cool. How can you like Rhett and have a cool hoodie? The puzzle doesn't fit. Really? I don't know. I didn't think about that. Anyway, I just basically reading these. They're like the same. It's like the same thing every time. I'm sorry if anybody's like overly upset with what I have to say, but that's just how I feel about it. I feel like these people who are like, they don't like, especially these people who are like using like ridiculous superlatives to make it sound worse than it is. I can't understand it. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm going to enjoy the game. If you don't enjoy the game, I'm sorry. I don't know. But just because you don't enjoy it doesn't mean it's busted. Allow me to play with Metro because my friends and I don't like the horde races. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It would be nice, right? Just to be able to do that. I fully agree. I don't see a reason why we should be splitting the faction or the player base with the factions anymore. You should be able to pick a race. Yeah, like one way or the other, I think the desertion feature should definitely go into the game. Where I can play a Night Elf on Horde. I think it would solve all the balancing issues with factions. Make it a very involved quest line. You know, make it only for that race. Something like that. I don't know. But I think that would be a very good thing. I'm offended. Sorry, man. If people enjoyed WoW just because of reaping, then I don't know why they're playing. Yeah, that's what it seems like as, right? And I guess I'm being like stupid saying that. But these people, it seems that way. Like, they don't even want to consider how this affix might change things. They just think it's worse. I don't know. If people enjoyed... Okay, read that. I love the Horde, but I've been a hardcore ally player since launch, and I could never make the full swap. Make the swap full on. Gotcha. Yeah, Horde's great, man. I would check it out. Or it's just got more competitive players right now, so it's better off. You didn't say anything crazy. It's opinion. We will still play it and have fun. Yeah, sadly it got a little heated there for a while, so I don't know. Beguiling has the potential to change the approach to packs where reaping falls short. Seems like a good change to me. Yep, I totally agree. I think Beguiling is very interesting. I'm very interested in seeing it. I do think there's a couple things that are overtuned and that they could be changed, and they probably should be changed, but I don't see the outrage. Wait, go read your comments. You have made it to your comment. Has anyone posted on it? A couple of people, yeah. Anyway, it's because AoE classes will be garbage. No, I mean AoE is still going to be a thing in 5-mans, right? Like you're still going to fight packs of 4 to 6 constantly. It's just not going to be packs of 30, you know? Or they can just let you choose a racial ability regardless of what class you are. That would be interesting, I guess, but I don't know. That's a little game breaking. It feels like immersion breaking. Didn't they have a way to swap factions in EverQuest? I think so, because I know a guy that I was in a band with in high school, and he played an MMO, and they had a desertion feature, and he was like, "Look, I'm doing this desertion, this thing." I was like, "Oh," but I didn't even really play WoW at that time. Oh man, that'd be fun if there was a quest chain you could do on any tune to switch factions. Yeah. Yeah, instead of 400k DPS, I'll do 80k. Yeah. Not as much, and they will be outclassed by main single target classes. I think this is a good thing. I think this is a good thing. I think like this like propensity to only care about AoE has ruined 5-mans this season. It really has. It's made them harder. I feel like nothing's gonna change. Just the affix will be different. Still the same way of clearing dungeons. Yeah, there'll be new ways, but it'll be equally like cheesy or something. I don't know. Maybe now you'll actually have CDs for tyrannical bosses. Yeah. It's supposed to be about balancing your AoE and single target, not one or the other or something. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. That's what this affix is gonna do, right? So I'm happy about that. Same, I play all classes, so it's not a big deal to me. Gotcha. EverQuest 2 had a betrayal questline that was really good to change factions. Yeah, that must have been it. Okay, so let's read my comment. I tested this out for about 4 hours across 3 dungeons. It's quite unique, that's for sure. Some very interesting or some very unique situations that this affix can put you in, and that is already more interesting to me than the previous 2 seasons. That would be the summary of why I enjoy reaping, by the way. Like, that is the summary. It's going to put you in very interesting positions. Whether they're harder, easier, more fun, less fun, they're interesting to me. In terms of feedback, I will leave 2 main points. Number 1, the most exciting moment I had with this affix was when I came up the stairs towards the Golden Priestess boss in Natal. Just running up the ramp, and boom, there's a Void Touch Emissary there. This is an amazing idea, honestly, and was really unique compared to all the other placements. I hadn't seen any others that were tied to a mob pack, and think this is the most creative way to deploy these shadow mobs. They seem to be very difficult to deal with when they are attached to a pack, so if I could give feedback, it would be put them in areas like this more often, and with big packs way less often. There was one in the super dangerous pack you might skip in Siege, and it obviously prevented us from skipping it, but there's just no way to engage that mob and the pack at the same time, so we had to do really suboptimal things to make it happen. So I'm talking about in Siege of Borealis, we had to pull that pack way back and then just kind of get fucking farmed by the 10 stacks of the thing. There's no way you're going to fight both that pack and the mob together. It's just impossible. So I think that's what they should change about the Void Touch Emissary. So... I'm able to get on the PTR, but unfortunately it's still completely broken. Oh, really? What CDs? Meta? If I don't have that in Tyrannical Bosses, I'm a baddie. Yeah, I guess your class is the example, or the exception, not the example. Probably still going to bring 2 rogues on Hunter. Why? What makes you think that? What makes you think 2 rogues is still going to be useful? I don't really understand why 2 of any class would ever be a good thing. You're just wasting potential, like... I mean, if you brought a warrior, you'd just have more DPS, you know? Anyway, either way, I've only done 3 dungeons, so if anyone knows any more of the standalone placements of these, let me know. I'd love to see it. So yeah, I'm still looking for any other standalone placements, and I don't know if there are any other ones. Anyway, the mobs take way too long to leave. That was my second point. I don't know if this is intended or how it works exactly, but if the mob is killed, it should be gone. Keeping us in combat after the pack is over is just unfair and kills pre-pots and other tactics for no real counterplay. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about this, right? Like, it's just, there's no counterplay, so it's just not a great idea. If the goal is them lingering to disrupt the pack a little bit more, that's understandable. But if they're the last thing to die, combat should end immediately. Yeah, like, I think that's the case. Like, there's no reason that you should just be artificially stuck in combat with a mob that's not actually doing anything. I don't think that's. I think that's probably just not intended. Anyway, I noticed the bolster 2, which is going to be challenging as well, and I assume that's part of why you are testing this affix set now, as it will likely be the hardest combination with Beguiling. Is that how it worked in Season 1 as well? Just want to make sure it's intended. Either way, obligatory reminder that there needs to be an after-timer buff for these affixes to match Season 2, or some actually communicated reason for there no longer to be one. Hopefully this isn't just going to be ignored, but I am optimistic that there is still more time to come with this affix, as there are things data mined that aren't present, and there are still no voice lines, etc. So, anyway, feels weird. Someone saying Demon Hunter is my class. More of a rental at this point. Nice. Drop a rogue, grab a ret with Wog, and win. Yeah, I think rogue would. 2 rogues is I don't get the benefit. Anyway, I think people should not worry so much about a seasonal fix. Worry about the bones of Mythic Plus. What can they do to make it better overall? Yep, totally agree with that, Sarah. That's the thing. I think there's so many things that could be made better about Mythic Plus that these things are just not. Like, the outrage over this affix, I just can't understand. Yeah, true. Yeah, it's so much damage. If it's both Shadow and a big pack, almost impossible. You have to nuke the main mob, and that's just not going to happen. That's just not realistic. Battle res in case the druid dies. To be honest, even in the current meta in the MDI, still confused why teams are bringing Unholy DKs over Rep Pally. Considering Rep Pally brings way more utility. No, it doesn't. It doesn't do equal AoE. I guess you haven't seen the 1.2 million damage Death Knight DPS thing. Death Knights have a thing called quadratic scaling going on with their spells right now. You should look into it. Somebody on WoW had made a great post about it. Unholy Death Knight does factually the most large group AoE damage in the game. There's no. It's not even close. Extra battle res probably is not the reason. It's just Unholy DK is really good. Probably the undisputed best utility. Battle res is good, but that's not the reason. Can't they bring items to dungeon? I mean, there are a lot of drums. I don't know how that works in the MDI. Can you be an engineer in the MDI? I don't know. Did I miss something, or why are realms still down? Just longer than normal maintenance. Yeah, you didn't really miss anything, but they are still down. I understand your stance on reaping and mindless AoE, but I will miss the massive pulls with Bone Storm and Death Strike, challenging myself to see how big I can go. I never really felt challenged by reaping. I died a couple times to reaping, so that should still be said that way. But I don't ever feel like it was really ever my fault. Honestly, it was never really difficult. Did you know dynamic respawn exists in Classic? What are you talking about? Why are the servers offline so long? Maintenance. Down until 3 p.m. Was it changed to 3 p.m.? Wait. Hold on. Still says 1 for me. 1 p.m. PST. Anyway. Rogues let you execute your straight up the middle boss only route. Oh yeah, that's funny. I forgot about that. We were going to do that sometime. Yeah, it does suck. People are just upset they can't out DPS mechanics. Planning nukes is often confused by skill/ability, right? Engineering B-res was not allowed. Oh, really? Interesting. I didn't realize that. It's interesting. That makes sense. I mean, if it was, everybody would be using it, right? So anyway, that guy replied to me earlier. We said, well, said things. This guy says, don't take the fucking buff if you don't want to use it. It should still exist, though. That's how Bronsamdi dead timer buff worked. My own thought on this affix, back when Wowhead made the speculation article on the affix, they thought some buffs would be implemented for killing the emissaries. Buffs make sense. Why not add some buffs? Maybe even a rock, paper, scissors type of thing that debuffs emissaries, or something that could negate the effect of one emissary and allow for mass pulls people want. It's interesting. Okay, this guy says, just did Motherload and it's insane. There's an emissary in every pack of Trash. Void one in some packs is impossible to low. What? I take Infested over this any day of the week, comma. Also, do you expect pugs and casuals? How do you expect pugs and casuals deal with this? People who does only 10 for a week, how they are going to deal with this affix? It's really not that hard. I don't know. The people who think it's hard are really confusing to me. 100 deaths. I mean, we didn't even have 100 deaths, and we had fucking Cop who died like 50 times. Anyway. Oh, yeah, you're rating tonight? Good luck, Metro. Yeah, thanks, man. I don't get why the MDI doesn't allow everything. I get fair play and all, but you should just balance your game. It's not about, no, it has nothing to do with balance. It's just that, like, those, like, having a profession is something that you're supposed to actually do on your character, but the MDI uses templates, so you can't really, you can't. That wouldn't really be something that you could have, you know? Having anything that you can literally just, like, there's supposed to be a penalty to having a profession. You know, like a good thing and a bad thing about having a profession. But on a realm where literally the only benefit to having the profession would be for the battle res buff, that's, yeah, that shouldn't be on there, honestly. Anyway, I doubt everyone would use it since Druid is still taking it. What else would they take? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you can take engineering and use it, what else why would anybody take anything else? Engineering res might make for diversity in comps, but doubtful since Druid is still best. It's just, yeah. There's power creep there, you understand? Probably with the Wombi buff is people are abusing it and doing double Wombi. Are you talking about the Bloodlust thing? Yeah, that's probably just a bug that can easily have been fixed. People who can't imagine how pugs will deal with the affix have not played enough dungeons. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. If you cannot possibly conceive of how you will complete a 10, I worry. Anyway. There is no dynamic respawn on beta, but the team led for WoW said they had faster spawn code in the starting areas to make launch playable in 2004. But faster spawn code not related to the amount of players, right? Like, that's not dynamic respawning. I mean, the key is over anyway, but still. Right. I don't know. It just feels like a fake image of the game in some ways. Huh? I mean, it is. It's a tournament realm, right? Like, there's different rules on there about how characters work. You don't have to level a character to play on that realm, you know. Engineering battle res is hard to use on high keys anyway. It's like a 2 to 3 second cast, so it's not that good. Either way, it's like, what? Think about it. If you could take a single profession for competitive 5-mans in a tournament setting, what would you take? Engineering. That would be it, right? That's the only option. It's the only one. I think most people haven't actually seen the 3 new mobs and how to deal with them, and are just going into the sky is falling mode. It does feel like that, yeah. I mean, a lot of the people who were upset earlier in the stream, I know they haven't tested it. So, I don't know. Battle res, yes, yeah. Well, what buff would the player receive? Eye of Azshara. Would it do the same thing? I don't know. There's buffs that were data mined, though, so I don't know. He said if there was a lot of people, mobs would spawn faster. He said he also reported it to the classic current team. The current classic team. Well, that didn't exist in the game until, oh god, you're talking about Mark Kern. Moving on. Anyway, I have it on all my healers besides Druid. The battle res thing, gotcha. There was no buff for Season 1, so why one for Season 3? Because I believe that the Season 2 one had nothing to do with the season. I think it was something that they should have added to the game because of levers and, you know, the fact that a failed key has just less reason to continue anyway. But herbalism for competitive 5-mans. You know, ironically, I wish there was still herbs in dungeons. That was one of my favorite things about the early days. Having herbs and mining nodes in dungeons. I always liked that. Okay, anyway, I thought when I first heard about this affix, it was going to be 3 lieutenant-type mobs placed in specific locations across all dungeons that groups would have to kill before completing the dungeon. Instead, it was just Infested 2.0, but even more obnoxious. What the hell, Blizz? The fact that there are so many of these dumb mobs, it's absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that they can be skipped, even more so. I thought that rogues were meta before. People are going to be running triple rogue to just avoid this affix. So this is the thing. I don't understand if people like are just trolling or they don't understand that you just can't skip 100% of the trash, right? So let's break this down, right? The guy says the amount of mobs is absolutely ridiculous. So what would that mean? Like that there's one in every pack? What could be absolutely ridiculous? What number would that be? Other than the Little Caesars commercial. A ridiculous amount of sausage, right? What would that number be? 90% of the trash has a mob in it? Well, you can't skip it all. What the fuck are you talking about? Triple rogue. I mean, that's too many shrouds. What are you pulling? There's nothing left in the game. If the number of them is absolutely ridiculous and every pack must have one, you can't skip the whole trash. Like, I don't really, man. Oh, man. I've never once stayed in a dungeon because of a buff. Okay. Anyway, just imagine if Blizzard were to change Blood Decay or Death Knight in general back to having all 3 specs be viable tanking specs. That'd be interesting, yeah. I don't think that would work very well. You don't like Mark Kern, no. Yeah, the buff saved a lot of groups not leaving. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it helped my groups tremendously. I mean, we've even 4-manned some dungeons thanks to the buff, so. Anyway. I personally watched you get the buff ice block. I don't know. I'm not sure what his point is. Anyway, the fact that he dislikes trade chat automatically makes him my friend. Oh, like the female? Okay, well, maybe I have to align with him on that at least. Remember when Lifeblood was a thing from herbalism? Yeah, those days were interesting. It's ridiculous compared to what he imagined the affix to be. 3 mobs in the entire dungeon. Still, there are not that many. Yeah, I guess you're right about that. That's probably the way to look at it, Infernal Majesty. Like, this guy's unrealistic expectation for what the affix was going to be, it makes him think that it's ridiculous, but either way, to say these two things right next to each other doesn't, like, it's almost illogical. It's like an oxymoron, right? Anyway, I know the one shadow guy is true sight, but guess what? Rogues can drag the pack to the side and shadow step vanish it while the rest of the group runs by. I don't think it works like that, dude. I don't think it does. Like, how are you going to run by a mob that you're in combat with? I don't think it works like that, man. Getting the buff or staying because of the buff are different things, right? This downtime, yeah, Pend is pretty bad. People are just extremely hyperbolic, yeah, sadly. Yeah, I know, right, Pend? Yeah, hopefully this means that there won't be any maintenance the week of the patch. You might not, but the point is a lot do. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say otherwise, honestly. Trade chat has said several times she was against Blizzard spending resources on Classic, but I heard she's streaming Classic on Facebook. Oh, wow, really? I don't have, that girl is like the lowest tier 10, number 40 overall on my list. Let's put it that way. Oh, God. And I don't know if you guys know, but oh, my God, dude. She did stand up at the Wowhead party. Did you guys know this? When we were at BlizzCon, we went to the Wowhead party, and she got on stage and did stand up. Anyway, I know I can play on EU, but I like US now, so never going back even if I can. Gotcha. And like we talked about how you're going to do a tall blood boss even with... Yeah, you can't. Like, there's some of these... There's no possibility that you're going to be able to shroud these. Or that you're going to be able to vanish these. I can't even remember the last time a wait was this long. When 8.15 came out, it was not up until 5 Eastern. You dislike trade chat? Dude. Oh my God. That girl is just... I'm not really sure how she got popular in the first place, to be honest. Yeah, you were aware of that, right? It was so bad live. In post, they actually like edited it or like mixed it or something. I don't really know. It was like it sounded okay, but whenever she would like laugh or make like she had this like high pitch to her voice, it like caused the speakers to just blow out. Like it was like it was like, oh my God, dude. The people I was there with were like hurling abuse at her and shit. I felt bad because like it was embarrassing enough. I wouldn't do that, but it was like, man, that was hard to watch. Anyway, my DK there is 381 only. Reason I would go back, but would be for my mounts and just look at them. Gosh, I miss them. Gotcha. Yeah, man. Who doesn't? She is so cringe. I want to die. Damn. You can't remember when a wait was this long? It happened just 4 days ago with the login issues. Yeah, that's kind of true, actually. Yeah, that was ironic. On Friday, we also couldn't log in. Luckily, I had to work anyway, so I didn't miss anything. Stand-up is probably not for her. Probably better at things involving kneeling or laying down. That's actually what one of the people said. I was like, man, stand-up, dude. This is just not her calling. Yeah, and the dude I was with, he's like, yeah, kneeling, that's more her calling. I was like, all right. Anyway, that was 3 hours, not 6 hours. What's worse, Trade or Alex? Alex Central? Definitely Trade, yeah, 100%. Alex Central, there's nothing really wrong with Alex Central. He's just, I don't know, just a weirdo. I don't know. I'm not really enjoying reading this anymore. People are just very, very negative about this. So honestly, like negativity is just taking over everything I do in my life, man. I just kind of don't want to be around negativity anymore. It's frustrating, but that's the game I play. You know, the world I live in. I wish there was a way to just mute all negativity, but sadly, a lot of it comes from some of my best friends, so I don't really know what to do. Let's look at this. I really don't have anything else to add other than this affix is terrible and the item level nerf will ensure I never do Mythic Plus again. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it was, John. It took a damn while. It was down to 1,500, 15,000, or 1,500 or 2,200. 409 item level. Got some nice cleavage at least. 12. They did it 12. Maybe it's time to take a break. Best of tall is a 10. That's a tough one. Pretty tough one. I will never do Mythic Plus again. Blizzard, hold my player. Increase item level from Mythic Plus to 440 to 455. It doesn't matter. This person has never done Mythic Plus in the first place, so it's like, who cares? I'm playing from Sweden. Maybe that's why. Are you talking about latency? Did I miss something? Anyway, how is there an eye level nerf? Mythics are always 5 below Mythic raids. No, not always. It's changed a lot since Legion, and it's changing again in Season 3, it looks like. 1K score is pretty good. Anyway, yeah, so it looks like the gear is going to be, it's going to be 420 from the chest. And people are assuming it's 430 from the cache, but I'm not really sure why they're assuming that. I don't know how anybody would know yet. But I don't know. The downtime Friday, Metro? I don't know what was your point? Sorry, I missed it. What is the eye level nerf? Nothing's really being nerfed. It's just they're making the gear be like respectively less than it was in Season 1. And that's drawn the ire of some, but we don't really know the facts yet, and frankly, it probably should be worse. I would say if they went back, because in Legion, the gear was 1 item level, and then the chest gear was 15 higher than that item level. So I think that's how it should be again. I think it should be 420 from completion, but 435 from the chest. That seems like that would be better. But yeah, I don't really know. I'm able to get into PTR though, so let's log on here a bit, I guess. He's saying the downtime was 6 hours when it was 3 to 4 for me. Yeah, I mean, there's facts here and there's opinion. There's no opinions here, you know what I mean? So I don't know how long the downtime was, but it's not one way for one and one way for the other. Even though I unsubbed, YouTube recommended the Legends stream the other day. I clicked to see what was up. I left when he said he's probably not going to play Classic. Wow, really? That's kind of embarrassing, huh? Not even going to play Classic after all that? That's a shame, man. That guy's... I feel bad for him. I really do. I think he's got some problems that he should probably see a professional about. What does that word mean you just said? Sorry for being noobish at the moment. Which word? I do like the current setup for it. Have it at cap at whatever the heroic raid gear drops and a small chance of tight. Yeah, that's... I mean, either way, the gear is going to Titan Forge and it's going to be very plentiful, so... No one is worse than Asmon. Come on, guys. No, this is completely different. You don't know this guy. This is completely different. This is not about being like a toxic or whatever you might say about Asmongold. This guy, oh, I don't know, man. You got to look at him. I don't even want to get into it now. He's just like, I don't know. Seemed like really aggressively contrary for Classic for a long time. And now that Classic's apparently coming out, he's not even going to play it. And his like concerns with why he wasn't going to play it originally were just retarded, like frankly, nonsense. Who? Alex Central. Again, we're talking about him, but I had a lot of respect for the guy for a long time, and then he basically just did everything possible to become an enemy of Blizzard. That's funny because I asked Caden, I was like, you know, for influencer stuff, would you ever like blah 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 Alex Central? And he's like, oh no, we will literally never work with Alex on anything. I was like, oh damn, poor guy, man. Anyway, I don't know. I just think Asmon is an idiot and pretty bad at the game. Not sure why he has such a big following, to be honest. He was really good at the game for a while, but yeah, he hasn't played it seriously since Mid-Legion. All this talk makes me want to do Mythic more, see what this is all about. I love loot. Oh yeah, I mean, Mythic Plus is amazing. It's the best feature of the game, if you ask me. He did his best to go downhill and alienate himself. It did seem like he was doing it on purpose, huh? So maybe, let's see. Looks like my key's been removed. So maybe the... Okay, so let's take a look here. So we're on the PTR currently, by the way. This is not live. Yeah, you do get a cache, Captain. And it looks like it has reset. So let's see what happens. Seems fair, the item level. Yeah, we don't really know what is going to happen yet, but let's open our cache and see what happens. Say you will about Asmon. He is making a fortune off the game. Oh, I know that. Live is up too? Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm going to do this on the PTR and then we'll log on live. And we're only really going to have time for like one dungeon and then I got to get going. Long road to Mythic for me, but can't wait. Can you explain Titan forging? I could, but you should just look up like a. There's better people out there. Not even people, just like the facts. You know, I would go look it up. If you have specific questions about how it works, I can help, but like, it's too difficult to discuss. Hey Metro, are you gonna work on some Essence stuff instead of Mythic Plus dungeons? You're talking about when the patch comes out? Yeah, the first week I'll be doing a lot of Essence stuff. Four days will be on my Death Knight, all 4 streams. Yay, it is live again. I'm so happy, sweet man. Hope you are right. The 2x Assassination Rogue can booty blast a Shadow Emissary. Their single target is nuts on live, and even more with the Essences. But what value do you have 2 Assassination Rogues? You know, like what do they bring having 2 of them? 2 assassinations will be strong. Gotcha. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the cash does not give Season 3 rewards. So that's weird. Is this the wrong character? This might be the wrong character. Hold on. This might be the wrong character. I might have just completely baited myself. This is the wrong character, isn't it? I don't know which. I have 3 characters with the same name, so I don't know which is which. This is definitely not it, though. This is the Alliance. Isn't Titan Foraging just a small chance to have the item increase its item level between 5 to 20? Sort of, but there's more to it. Metro Test? Yeah, I can't actually remember what the name of the character was. I still have the clip up. That was it. Metro Crush. That was the name of the character. So yeah. Then Season 3 rewards not on the cash for some reason. What would make the game better is if Blizzard would add the Mythic Plus into leveling mobs and quests to give more experience. That would act. Oh yeah, you're talking about Mythic Plus leveling. That's something I actually made a video on a long time ago, Chris. I would love to see that. Hey, at least you got a motherload key and you could see what that guy is talking about. Sort of, but I'm not going to because probably not going to be on the PTR at all this week. Unless live's down again. If live was up or down all day, I would have spent time on the PTR if I could have gotten on it, but. Where do you even get the cash as Alliance? I don't even know. So let's see what happens on my Druid. Probably nothing, right? Hogger Mythic Plus 20 would be a feat in itself. Yeah, it would be. Honestly, I would love a leveling challenge like that. I outlined what I think would be a good idea for a while back, but basically just, you know how like everything scales now? Make it so like Mythic Plus 20 leveling, the mobs are just 20 levels higher than you. If you don't reach max level before the timer, your character gets depleted. I wouldn't have a timer involved, but now that I am 80 years old, you were finally able to log in. Man, that was a long, yeah. PTR always really just, it doesn't operate very well for me. I've always had a lot of problems with the PTR. Realms are up, yes. I am now online, so yeah. I'll leave the title as it is because I'm probably only going to do 1 key anyway, but maybe we can get a key in. Should be able to get at least 1 in. I mean, it's not even 3 o'clock yet. You guys are funny. I load 5 times slower than that normally. Oh, really? My hard drive is beat as fuck. I need to get a new one. But I'm just waiting till push comes to shove because I'm so broke. I could get a new computer, but I want to wait as much as possible just in case. A new mouse should be here Thursday, though, so that's good. Just depends how many other people are on, I guess. I don't think loading has anything to do with that. Just something up with the client. My comp itself is beat. Gotcha. Yeah, luckily my computer is actually pretty good. I mean, it's not great. It's not like top tier anymore, but it was when I got it. I'm down to go, Mistweaver or Windwalker. Do you have a key? I'd love to get an 18 in today. That would be like the dream. Ask for a new mouse for Father's Day. Sweet. Yeah, my mouse is going to come on Thursday. What mouse do you use right now? Razer Naga. And I'm getting like the new Naga one or whatever, but I don't know. Hopefully it's not any different. So many people are trying to talk me out of leveling a Demon Hunter. I want to try and play an alt and run heroic. Oh yeah, go for it. Why would anybody try to talk you out of something you want to play? That's fucking rude of them, frankly. What's up, boy? Hey, Kadim Sharp. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Put stuff on the auction house again. Ro got 17 shrine. Nice. Did you get the Naga with the interchangeable side pieces? I don't know. Maybe. No. You talking by side pieces? You mean the buttons? Yeah, that's the new one, right? I did get that. You can get a 256 gigabyte SSD for $30. Yeah, I've heard all about that, Matt. We've been talking about that since Legion. If I'm gonna do something like that, I'm gonna get a whole new computer. Can I see your build for Mythic Plus? Not much to see. I mean, if you have specific questions, I can answer them, but don't know what you mean by build. The Naga Trinity is great. I use it. Sweet. Yeah, it's basically just the same as the old Naga, except you have the other options. The Trinity is the one I use as well. Any obvious problems with it? I'm just getting a Razor Basilisk. What is that one? I don't know. Talent build for this week, I mean. I use the same talents every week, so nothing changes week to week talent-wise. Yes, the 3 side options, yeah. But nothing like obviously wrong with it. I quite like the Razor. I know a lot of people have gone away from it recently, but I've enjoyed it. The price point? It is kind of expensive, I guess, yeah. Oh, we got a weapon. 415 weapon. Can't use that. A tall 17. Fortified, bolstering, skittish. Not bad. I feel like this week should be a decent week to push high keys. Yeah, it should be. Skittish is just a free affix, so it's always going to be easier, right? I have a wireless Naga. Shot myself in the foot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My first Naga was a wireless Naga as well. And that wasn't good. Wow, is that really the only keys? People don't realize the servers are up. Nothing crazy. Had a little thumb button for like push to talk or whatever you want. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I would use any of that. I feel like this week should be a decent week to push high keys. We read that. Is this live right now? Yeah, that's correct, Jeff. I've been literally trying to farm that weapon Titan Forge for weeks now on my pally, and you randomly get in a chest to be salvaged? It's just random. I don't want this weapon though. I have a much better version. I have a what's going on? Oh, I'm typing. I was like, why is my bag's not opening? Anyway, I have the 425 Dawnbreaker if I ever want that. Nice, good luck in the keys then. Yeah, there are no keys, so don't know what we're gonna do. People I guess don't realize the servers are up, which is understandable. I'm not even gonna scrap it. I've been farming for that too, but it hasn't dropped in 3 weeks for rerolls. Gotcha. Unlucky.
Many deals for a friend.
138 gold. That seems more valuable, right? Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. I like this item. Looks good. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite things about ZG is these bijous. Hello, everyone. Which servers? What do you mean, which servers? All right, let's go and put the stuff on the auction house, and hopefully there'll be some keys. I have 9 weight crest lol. Yeah, no thanks. Look on the bright side. You have a monopoly on keys. Technically, but if there's no keys posted, then that means there's probably no good players at all. Dead game Kappa. It's just up like 2 hours early, so nobody realizes it's up probably. Do you know if anything from Quarter Stars can drop from the weekly chest? Talking about the 5-mans? I'm talking about the raid. I mean, no, the weekly chest is only 5-man gear, dude. What do you plan on doing the stream? The stream's almost over, honestly. Like, what I planned on doing was hanging out and chatting and reading forums, and now that I can log on, that's over. So, I might do 1 or 2 keys if I could find any, but right now there's no. Okay, Alex put his key up. Let's do that. Anyway, no, only weekly chest is Mythic Dungeon gear, right? Yeah, it's only the 5-mans. It's nothing to do with raid. I don't know if I should take that Blood DK. If you think he's better than me, take him. I don't care. Hanging out, cozy. Yeah, it's nice. Nice little stream. Ah, gotcha. I wasn't sure. Sweet. Good luck in the key, my guys. Thanks, ma'am. Hopefully, luck won't be involved. Hey, he meant you, Metro. Ha ha ha. Oh, do you think? Yeah, Yeah, look at this. I had a feeling this was gonna happen. At least that guy's somewhat qualified. Buddy Shadow. Finish the stream with a rap. I promise it won't be cringe. Oh, it will be. Not convinced we'll get heals. Definitely no Stargasm on this stream ever. I wouldn't say that. Alright, let's put the stuff up here. This frog has got to sell someday. It's a nice frog, otherwise I might keep it. It's a little cute little frog. I can't actually look at it. You can't actually preview pets, I guess. Shadow Priest is pretty strong, Metro, and brings decent stuff. Disagree. Especially in Shrine, I would say no way. $404, what the fuck? Yeah, that is kind of weird. My god, my alts are 8 item levels higher than them. How's that possible? If you don't try, you don't know if you have a talent. That's true, I suppose, but I'm pretty confident, so I don't need to try. Yay, bought myself at 400 chest, please. Thanks again, Iceblock and Sarah. No problem, man. Lol, even I'm higher than 404. I mean, like, to be 404 is like you just started gearing. That's odd. That's weird. From stream. Only people in the group can see that, right? Like if you're, yeah, no, obviously if you're in the queue, you can't even see these other people. Could be an alt though. No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, to have 1850 score, I mean, 25 plus timed runs, that's, you played a lot. It's pretty good. I don't know how you could have 25 plus 15 timed runs and only be 404. Like, what are you doing without your gear? Shadow Priest is good in the vacuum, but compared it to every other range, yeah, exactly. That's the problem. I was gonna say that too. My Shadow Priest is 404, and I dinged 120 last Tuesday. Congrats, man. Just started. Oof, it take me 2 to 3 weeks to get to 404. Yeah, exactly. So you think they push up the gear for Mythic Plus next season, or do we have to live with that gear nerf? I think it's gonna be as it is on the PTR. Yeah, 420 from completion and 430, I guess, from the chest. I was hoping to find out the answer to that today, but didn't, for some reason, get season 3 rewards. So I don't know. Zanger Marsh. That sounds like a fucking China realm or some shit. I don't see that realm very often. It's probably a South American realm with that name. Quetzalcoatl. Still, very good pick, Resto Shaman. When is 8-2 dropping? Nobody knows for sure, but there's like just mounds of evidence pointing towards the 25th of June at this point. So many different points of evidence now. I think it's got to be. So I think this week we'll find out for sure. Or maybe not, but either way, I think it's got to come out. I think it's got to come out this week, really. Cousin server to Rag? Yeah, maybe they're related. I don't know.
Get moving.
Anyway, I should have brought this up earlier in the stream, but if anybody out there is looking to raid, especially in Season 3, let me know. Looking to get at least 1 or 2 more range damage healers in the guild. So if anybody out there is looking for a guild that raids 2 nights a week, 7 Eastern to 11 Eastern, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you play a range damage healer, let me know. Normally I would say open invites, but we've just come to an impasse with melee, so got to be a little bit more selective with that. Can I come on a different server if I bring my own flask and stuff? To the raid? No, you got to be in the guild. If the Mythic raid gear is a lot higher than weekly gear, then Mythic raiders will again dominate higher keys. Not a good idea. I disagree. I think Mythic raiding is much more involved than doing a 10 and getting a good piece of gear. So, with me and Sushi back, we should have enough tonight, right? Yeah, hopefully. As long as nobody else, like multiple other people aren't here, we should be good. Any good nameplate add-ons you can suggest? By nameplates, do you mean like on the target, like the thing that you're fighting? If so, I use Plater. I would say everybody should download Plater. It's an amazing add-on. If you're talking about something else, let me know. But if you're talking about like what I'm using here, this is Plater. We could use a hunter, eh? Yeah, I guess. I keep waiting for Shallow to come back, and it's just not happening. So I don't know. When did he message me? It was a long time ago now. Yeah, holy shit. Fucking over a month ago. Early May. Oh, I guess he says until next tier most likely, but I didn't think he'd be gone that long. Anyway, oh, I flew to the wrong place. I'm too used to coming to the raid. There's a vendor here? What is that? Cooking supplies. What the hell? Wow. You can buy potatoes and shit here. What the fuck? That's crazy. And I could use this cooking? Can I use this to cook? Oh, I had no idea. Anyway. I don't know if I didn't hear or not. When is A2 coming? I already answered that, man. Yeah, just rewind or something. Anyway. Yes, for what you're attacking. Yeah, it's a plater. Mythic Raiders already dominate higher keys, although guys are in cutting it. Yeah, like 90% of them are all also serious raiders, right? I know, but if Mythic Raid gear is too much higher, only Mythic Raiders will be able to get into high keys. That's not good. It won't be any worse than it was in Legion, where like you needed tier sets and shit, you know? So can't be any worse than that. Hey Metro, any idea will they reset TR Titan Residium? No, it's not being reset, Konex. It's just being like massively, like a lot. It's going I think it's like 10,000 per piece, more than that. Can't remember. A lot. It's gonna be a lot. Do you ever do Mog runs? No, I have the transmog I want on the characters I play. 9K for heroic random. Is it 9K for heroic random? Yeah. So it's even much more for Mythic, obviously. How much gold is server transfer? Anyone know? No, I have no idea. I mean, you need to buy 2 tokens, right? So the token's what, 150K now or something? What's going on? Why is my phone? I'll be right back. My phone is going off for some reason. Oh, it's up to 240? Oh, wow. I don't think it's been above 200 in a while since I've looked, at least. Mal'Ganis. Haven't seen that realm in a long time. Yeah, server transfer's 25, yep. So that means you need to buy 2 tokens to get that. And you're going to have a little bit extra. Howdy, Metro. Curl Life. What's up, buddy? How's it going, money? Well, hopefully we can get at least 1 key in here. I don't know. Giving me Eminem vibes today. Yeah, it's just cold. But it's not like, I don't know, it was just like kind of damp in the house, so I didn't want to put like a heavy jacket on. This is a really light jacket. It's like fucking like 1 inch. So, probably take it off now. It's getting warmer out. I'll sell 2 engineering mounts and be good. Nice. Congrats. They really go for that much money? Man, it feels like it's been a long time since I've done a Mythic Plus on my Death Knight. A full week. Yeah, it's been a full week. 125K or so? Oh, well, you'll need more than 2 then, huh? I guess you maybe probably already have gold, you know. Alright, we can take this off now. Still a bit chilly out. It was like in the mid 80s. Oh yeah, forgot the Yankees were playing today. Let's take a look at the score. Apparently they're winning 8-4. Oh, and Women's World Cup starting soon, right? Oh my God, did you guys see that Durant injury, by the way? Oh my God, dude. I don't even know what to say about that. That was so disheartening. I honestly feel bad for them. Yeah, that sucks for Golden State. Yeah, it was just... Injuries fucking suck, man. It sucks. Bottom of the 5th for the Yankees, 8-4. Nice. Not gonna get to watch either game, unfortunately. They will most likely lose. Yeah, I was shocked he got re-injured. It's not the same injury though, right? Like this is much worse. I don't know what to say about this. J Top Monkey. What's up, buddy? How's it going, man? There's word out that it was this bad, but Golden State pushed him to play. Well, I don't think so. He was fine in the first however long. Alright, anyway. It was new injury, Achilles tendon. Yeah, the previous one was a calf injury, right? Any information, when will Raider IO scores reset? It'll go exactly like it did from Season 1 to Season 2. This isn't PTR, right? Those videos you posted were really helpful for the new fix. Correct, yeah, that's it. We're on live now. And I do a key or two, and then that'll be it for today. Probably just one.
Our fleets will be unstoppable. The Alliance must not claim this prize. All who oppose us will fall. Now, let the hunt begin.
Alright, here we go. 17 Shrine. It's not bolstering, right? That was on the PTR. I'm curious, do you stream full-time? No, I do YouTube part-time, and I work as a dental assistant part-time. It is bolstering? Oh, what the fuck? Lol, okay, well. That's gonna change the way we do the dungeon, I guess. Anyway, I just wish he could. That would be awesome. Share the stream more all. Yeah. I wish I could too, but it's just when you owe like $85,000 to somebody that you've never met, it's pretty difficult. Pretty difficult to justify it. Alright, let's see.
Must not claim this prize. All who oppose us will fall.
It's been a while since I've done a key on live. Anyway, true as fuck, yeah. It's gonna aggro that guy, yep. So that's bad. Not a good start. Let's pop Rune Weapon here, because this is gonna take a long time to die. Easy week, Harka. Yeah, I guess easier than last week for sure. I didn't know though. Run outside? We probably should have, but it's almost did. I forgot that you could do that. Run out and in? No. The mouse situation has gotten really bad, though. It's now like probably about 50% of the time I press the ability and nothing happens. Look at this. My God, I pressed that at least 6 times before the D&D went down. Already on the Mythic Plus grind? Yeah, that's correct, Cider. I mean, we had to wait. I mean, I should have gotten like 5 or 6 keys in already, but we had to wait all day for the servers to come back up. Which button? The 1 button was D&D, but it's pretty much all the buttons. Most of them just don't work a lot of the times. I don't know why. Naga buttons go so suddenly. I've never had the side buttons not work. Usually my 5 goes first. Yeah, 4 and 5 haven't been working. 4 has been like this for like a year though. It's only recently that 1, 5, and 6 have started to get really bad. Guess we shouldn't bolster this if we don't have to. Matt, if you're still here, thanks a lot for your generosity, man. That was crazy. The old Nagas, like 2010, were awesome. The new ones are meh. Oh, yeah. I think it was just like a factor of like there only being those at the time, you know, like there was no other alternatives. I think now like there's a lot of alternative mice out there. I'm hoping the advantage of having a Trinity now is that you can just buy new side plates. Oh, shit. Wow, I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. Yes, that should be the case, right? I got multiple replacements when buttons stopped working. When I had my Razor, though, I had a lifetime warranty as part of purchasing one, and they just replaced it for free. Oh, really? I do not have a lifetime warranty. In fact, the mouse I'm using now was purchased for me by a company we used to contribute to. Me and Siler used to be writers for a website called Wow Stratix, and they bought me this mouse when my old one was broken. Ironically, it was broken because of a rating situation. But anyway, do you miss not having grip on any other tanks? Oh yeah, grip. Oh my God, we did it again. Yeah, grip is like the #1 thing that it's hard to go back to other tanks because of. For sure. So the whole like split pull the first name mob down here, that can still be done, right? Like it's. I've tried it and it didn't work a couple of times in the last few weeks, but people have said they still do it. I think I saw somebody do it myself actually on an alt as well. Nice, that fucking sick range interrupt though. Shaman are so useful, man. I don't know. I don't know why people don't think Shaman are good right now. The only thing is, the mouse says it requires a signature, and I'm going to be at work. So I don't know how that's going to work. I'm the player, not the shaman. Jam can pump. Nice. Unlucky on this pat. Hopefully these yellow mobs don't bolster it. I'm sure they won't at this point.
Beware. Beware. Beware.
Avoid the rising tide multiple ways as Bloody K, which is always nice. Wow, I'm out of fucking health pots.
Beware.
Pack, always dangerous. Whew. A lot of damage, man. Anyway, Shaman, they fixed that. They fixed what?
Beware.
The bolster, you mean?
Beware.
Yeah. Yeah, they changed it a while back. Let's fight him down here. Nice stun. That was big. This pack is a fucking pain, honestly, man. It's such a problem. All these casters. It's probably like one of the only actual dangerous reaps in the game. But it's really dangerous. Okay, we interrupted that. I guess it's still worth killing this pack. I don't know. People have been doing it recently, so I guess we'll do it. The spiritualists worry me, but really, as long as they're interrupted, it's fine.
Beware.
Stun that one. Didn't really need to. We got plenty of interrupts up. It allows you to skip the packs on the bridge. There's multiple ways that you could have that happen. I don't think this pack is the right way to do it, but everybody's been doing it recently, so might as well do it. Choosing to fight multiple spiritualists is never a good choice if you ask me, but it's really not that big of a deal. I think you still want to pull one after you shrouded the other side. Right. New season affix is going to make casters a lot more dangerous with that immune to CC mobs. Nah, not really. It's going to mean you have to actually CC shit now.
How dare you summon this holy place with your presence?
This might be a problem. We had this problem last time it was bolstering. Somebody aggroed the boss by accident and then it bolstered the boss. That was terrible, by the way, when that happened. As long as nobody does that, then we'll be alright, though. I didn't click the fucking button, so. Alright, let's go. It's funny though, I've had this keyboard since I was in high school. I got this keyboard when I graduated high school. And it still works perfect, like no problems at all. But I've been through 3 mice now. And had a lot of problems with buttons working, it's weird. I guess the thing is, I press the keyboard like as an entity more. But there's so many buttons on the keyboard that I probably don't press the same one every time. But I have to press the 2 key like more than any key on the keyboard and it still works fine. I'm kind of surprised by that, really. I guess there's just better tech. Who can I ask for a guild invite? Sean, if you're interested in raiding, we gotta talk privately, but if you're just interested in, you know, hopping in the guild and hanging out, just let me know. But yeah, we are looking to add another range damage dealer or 2 to the guild before season 3, before the new raid starts. So hopefully we can find one. I'm confused. Isn't there just somebody over there?
Run away, little girl.
Yeah, I was thinking casually. All right, cool. Yeah, just message me when you get a chance. Target is not in line of sight. How the fuck is he down here? It's weird. Man, I don't understand. Can we get somebody in front of all of these? I don't get it. Finally, non-tyrannical week. That's true. Seems like every other week it's not tyrannical week anymore. I don't know what's going on. Season, I'm hoping to really improve the shaman. I quit the alliance raid altogether. Sweet man. Well, if you're able to make the raids, let me know because we could use an extra player. Okay, so let's see if we can still pull this off
A
here.
fine kill, but our true prey retreated into the shrine.
Did we do it? Yes. Anyway, I've tried to join guilds via that find a guild thing, but no one gets back to me. Oh yeah, there's no that feature is just fucked. Like nobody cares about it at all. It's not a very well made feature. Actually, I guess it got better in 8.0, but still, I'd imagine it's not really changed the opinions of it of most people. Can I ever get her out of that all the way? Seems like it's impossible, actually. I even forgot this feature existed until now. Yeah, when they changed like the community stuff, they added a bunch of new stuff for guilds. But are you gonna test more PTR? Test all the changes done to dungeons and trash? Nah, probably not. It'd be too difficult to actually get the keys. If there was a make your own key system, then definitely, like there was in season 2 testing, but there is none for season 1, so no, I won't do that. I'm sorry, for season 3, of course. Joining US and one best decision. And one guild, I guess. Best decision I ever made. Really have felt super welcome here, sweet man. Yeah, hopefully everybody can find enjoyment playing with friends. That's the thing, like, I don't know. For a long time, now that the game's like so needlessly negative, I don't really, it's not the same, but for a long time, it felt like the most like problematic part of the game was like finding people to play with and people of like a like mind, you know? So that was the one thing that I always felt like I, as, you know, with this guild could offer that maybe a lot of other people weren't able to find. It's a place that you'd have consistent amount of activity and playership. Biggest impact of season 3 is the trash percent rebalance. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we don't know what's actually happening there because it didn't seem to be any different in the 2 out of the 3 dungeons we did, but in Told to Gore it was completely fucking different. Like, I don't even know what to say about that. We had so much less count. It was crazy. So I don't know what to say about that.
Rise, fallen one.
Rock Ellie. I was gonna try pulling. Oh yeah, but we can still do it. Come on, Stab, you got this. Rock this pack with your awesome deeps. Huh? They will force us to kill all the emissaries by reducing the percent. The percent doesn't. Emissaries don't get percent anyway. So I would be fine with that though, to be honest. If they made the emissaries the best way to get the percent, I think that could be another thing that they should probably consider. Because right now, like, emissaries not giving percent means like you're still gonna try to skip any that you can, even though it's gonna be really hard to do. But they're in the packs. Yeah, that's true. But it doesn't really have anything to do with the emissary. No more nameplate cluttering in season 3 is positive. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I'm definitely looking forward to Reaping being over. It's just gotten really stale. Missed that interrupt because the hunter's pet stunned it or something. I got my neck to 35. So far, I'm still on that grind. The whole weekend will be dedicated to getting my neck to max. Nah, I wouldn't bother with it. You'll get it over time. Don't like consciously spend time on it, honestly. Just do islands and weekly content each week, and islands and emissaries every day, and you'll be good. Having those big AoE numbers taken away from the enjoyment of doing good 3 to 6 target DPS. Yeah, you're right, actually. That's a good point. It makes the smaller packs feel like less valuable. That's actually a good point. That's a great counterpoint to all the people who were fucking crying about fun and all that. It's like it actually makes the rest of the dungeon where Reap isn't involved less fun as well because of Reap. If that's like your main concern, you know? I don't know. Trying to get some low keys done so I can get my gear up. Yeah, good choice. World content will help with that as well. Could pop rune weapon, but mob's almost dead. Guess we probably should have used it though. It's dying forever.
Beware.
Why don't you skip the elemental? I'm not really sure how to do it. I've done it like once or twice, but it ended up in a big failure. Last time I tried it, we ended up wiping, and then we were completely fucked. I gripped the wrong one.
Just in time to witness true power. Dark powers or no, you will be our next king.
So you hit 120, have the right gear score, and if you have the keys, you can do Mythic, and that can give you a chest each week. Sort of, yeah. I mean, you can get a key no matter what, like we talked about last time, but yeah, you can get a key. You have to upgrade the key. The higher the key, the more loot you get, or the higher item level loot you get, etc. Harder the dungeon, stuff like that. So there's a couple factors in there, but yeah. Once you're geared enough to do 2s, I would probably just do 5-mans all day on any character. And then supplement with world content.
Beware.
Very much looking forward to 120. Sweet, yeah. It's frankly when the game starts, so sadly, I wish it wasn't that way, but has become that way. Leveling is kind of just a one-time thing and not a lot of replayability there.
Rise, fallen.
That's gonna aggro that? Okay, good. I don't know about this root totem thing.
Run away, little girl. Run away, little girl.
Anyway, 20 plus should have a guaranteed chance of getting 1 mythic raid quality piece. Nah, I don't think they should like overly encourage the type of like really hard keys like that. I like the way the system works on that front currently. Yeah, what happens when there's 2 rock ellies out? They both just fight for threat constantly? Is that how it goes?
Run away, little girl.
I don't think so. I guess it doesn't hurt to get it though, one way or the other. This is probably gonna not be good. Definitely not the smartest idea we ever had.
Sooner or later, everyone comes to me.
Do you have a plan for how you are going to approach BFA and Classic when it drops? Hi, Diox, what's up? Yeah, I'm still going to be playing Classic kind of on the side. BFA is still going to be the main game. You created a god. Yeah, that was a lot of bolster. Non-elites hit hard, especially when they're bolstered like, what was that?
5,
15
4,
times each?
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
None shall stand against the storm.
What about you, Diox? You playing Classic?
Run away, little girl.
I played a lot of Classic on private servers, but sadly, the more I think about it and the more I hear people talk about it, the less excited I get. Because it seems like a lot of people are really not going to be interested in it for the right reasons.
Protect me.
My howl is impenetrable. Run away.
I'm going to give it a look for sure. I talked to Fast about it the other day. Oh, really? That's funny.
The breeze is ever at
Classic
our
can be
back.
fun. I'll be making a guild, like a mirror guild of the live guilds on a PvE Alliance server. Sadly, have to play Alliance. But, don't know. A lot of people haven't been interested in hearing about PvE server. Wiping on Fortified. That's not good.
Run away, little girl.
Protect me. The breeze is ever at our back.
Not really sure what killed those people.
My howl is impenetrable.
Probably the cleave. Nice. I'll have some time coming up for sure. Army career is almost over. Oh, gotcha. Oh, it'd be good to play with you again, man, one way or the other. Shadow Priest pretty strong right now, on live at least. How you think all those streamers doing full-time Classic Beta are still going to play it once it's out? I mean, the ones who haven't played WoW in their whole career and are only playing it now because it's hot, definitely no. But I mean, like, people like Asmongold and S-Fan, yeah, obviously that's what they'll play. It's like a case-by-case thing, right? Seems like they're burning. Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, I don't know. I enjoy Classic too. I mean, I could see myself enjoying it. It's just like I don't really want to play sub 60. Like I'm not really sure what I would do on there right now. Let's put it that way. The people that are doing like finding stuff to do, it's admirable, but it's like not really designed for that. You know what I mean? So I'm not really sure what they're gonna think of when the game is actually out. You know? I don't know. I'd be down for Classic with your guild, even if I have to play Alliance. Sweet. Yeah, unfortunately, Alliance only option for Paladins, and that's what I want to play. So, oh great, this again. Anyway, I never understood that Asmon Love. He isn't even that good of a player. He was really good at one point, but yeah, now he's just another scrub. Oh no, this boss mob is evading too. Sweet, man. Glad that this keeps happening, even though I'm playing a fucking Death Knight with like no jumping abilities whatsoever. They really gotta figure this kind of shit out, because this is really bad. This is like a way bigger concern than fucking Season 3 affixes and shit. Like, this is like actually damaging the product. So many people are saying Classic is the best thing ever. Seems kind of pointless judging a game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing that I'm really worried about. Is how many people seem like over the moon with leveling. It's like, all right. I mean, it's good. Leveling is pretty good. I don't know if I would enjoy it more than I like. You know, like 735 leveling and onward has been really good too. So, Classic leveling can be fun, especially if you've never done it before. But Most of what they like isn't even like reality, it's just being a noob. And obviously it's going to end eventually, so I don't know what they plan on doing once they're 60, but... Classic's going to be boring to watch on stream? Yeah, sadly. That's the other thing I'm concerned with, is like playing Classic on stream. Probably not going to have much of a market for it anymore. I was only ever good with it because I was like one of the only people streaming it when I was doing it on private servers. Those days are obviously over now. Everybody and their brother is going to be streaming it. So I don't know. Not sure if we'll stream it much. That first week, I'm probably going to take the day off and play Classic a bunch. You know, we've talked about potentially taking the week off of raiding and stuff. But I don't know. I'm not sure after that. People playing this game for the right reasons and for fun are completely disappearing, unfortunately. Hopefully that will change again for the better, but we will see. Yeah, unfortunately it's not really a problem that the game could fix, so I don't see how it would change. Looking forward to some Warrior Tengen Classic, and it'd be nice to be able to run with you, sweet man. Yeah, hopefully we'll all have fun together. Most of you guys, I guess, aren't like involved in keys. I'd hope that, like, you know, the stream community, we'd be able to do more keys together, but I guess not a lot of you guys are doing keys and stuff as often.
Beware.
But in Classic, everything's just casual shit, so we'll all be able to do everything together. The good and the bad, I guess.
Beware. Beware.
That Dark Smash does initial damage as well. I didn't even realize that. I would love to run keys with you, but I am at work. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's the other thing. I just want to Fury Warrior things to death, and I'll be happy in Classic. Gotcha. Yeah, Fury Warrior is very strong in Classic. Warrior in general, very strong. Heroic Strike, probably one of the most overpowered abilities in Classic, if not the most overpowered. What I like most from the beta are those players that really roleplay, like Aguga Brothers. I don't know what that is. 3 rogues that look the same and gank people. Gotcha. At least I'm 376 so far, so yay, I'm getting there. The Uga Brothers? Oh yeah, is that actually a thing? I've never heard of that. That's funny. Not as fast as I wanted, but still yay. Yeah, that's pretty slow, man. I don't know. Is the world content not giving you good gear right now? Alright, yeah, we got plenty of count. Shrouder up. Nope. What's the emissaries giving? What eye level? They all appear out of nowhere and gank one guy and then have a similar name and say the same, look the same. Unique about, yeah, so that's the thing, like, hopefully people can see that for what it is. That there's like so little to do in the game that shit like that can actually become like a main focal point. And you know, Classic's cool for multiple reasons. But if you think that's a good reason, then I just hope you realize what that actually is, you know what I mean? It's like, frankly, there's so little to do in the game that you would rather do shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really supported or anything like that. It's not like somehow that you can't do that in live, you know what I mean? But like when people do shit like that, that's always like the shining example of, it's like, okay, so less is more in that way, you know? And as long as you realize that you're saying less is more when you talk about that stuff, that's fine by me. I mean, I totally like Classic for that reason too at times, but I've been talking about that for a while though, frankly. Like, I think one of the biggest problems with WoW, live WoW, is there's just so much shit to do in the game. Like, you can't possibly do everything you want unless you like play this game like 80 hours a week. And even then, even if I did play the game like 80 hours a week, I'd probably still mostly only do 5-mans. There's just too many different things to do in the game, you know, so you can't really do everything. But Classic, complete opposite. Sadly, not the weapons I need. 390, gotcha. I unsubbed in January, and I was really surprised with how much changed in class balance looking at Prot Warrior and Shadow Priest. Really? January? Was the raid out in January? Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember when it come out. But yeah, I guess if you unsubbed before 8.1, then you missed a lot. I don't remember when all these things came out, though. January. It was definitely after that, right?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're looking pretty good here. 10 minutes at this point. This seems good, right? Do you think they will level squish in 9.0? They probably will. If they've already talked about it, they're probably going to do it anyway. I kind of wish they wouldn't because I think they're doing it for the wrong reasons. But in the end, if it works like at all, regardless of what the reasoning is, then I guess it'll be a good thing for the game. But I just have a feeling it's going to be done for the wrong reasons, and it's not actually going to... You going to soak this last one?
Beware.
I don't think it's going to actually be good for the game. But it's not going to be worse for the game anyway, so as long as it doesn't break anything, then I guess I'm down with them doing it. I would much rather them just do a full redesign of all early game content, though. That would be my choice. When do you think... What do you think will be the new level cap? Probably 60, yeah. They'll just cut the game in half, 120 to 60. Seems like the right choice. Plus 60, you know, with Classic. Makes a little bit more sense anyway.
Beware.
Oh, the healer got mind controlled? I guess I wasn't aware that was possible. This fight is so stupid.
Beware.
That is a lot to squish every dungeon into 60 levels, you think? I mean, what do you think, it's gonna be 100? I don't see the point of going from 120 to 100. That would be pointless. It's definitely, I think it definitely would be 60. I mean, just think about it. Divide by 2, right? Like, not gonna change anything. So all the classic stuff is 30. All the TBC stuff is 35, I guess. Rat stuff is 40. It's not really gonna, not gonna be that big of a deal.
Some unseen force stalks us.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not really sure what the goals are with it, but I don't think it's gonna do what they want it to do, honestly. I think it's not gonna have the effect on the game that they think it would. And I think they would make the decision for a bad reason. Like, the decision would be because people are like, each level doesn't feel meaningful. It's like, well, you're just retarded. Like, obviously you have to level, so it doesn't matter what you think it feels like. It is meaningful. You know what I mean? So if, like, that's why they're gonna fix it, and they're not actually gonna change anything about leveling, then it's just not gonna do anything. It's just a waste of time. But if they're gonna do it and then remake leveling on the back of it, then I am 100% for it. And I think that's why they should do it. Because I feel like probably the big thing is right now, you can't remake leveling with the way it works now. There's just way too many numerical values involved. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, if you condense everything down to 60, it would be a lot easier to justify some of the changes. Free to play at level 20, which would be around MOP. Well, yeah, that would change too, obviously. Yeah. They'd probably be nice enough to give you like level 10 or something, you know. MOP would definitely not be 20 though. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess I just divide everything by 2. That's how they would do it. Mibuga, Michuga, Miuga. 3 troll rogues. Nice. Sounds fun. Or they could just make every dungeon start at 15. I would love that. If everything's scaled, I think that would be very good for the game. everything in the game was equally difficult.
Sooner
What?
or later,
Oh, it's bolster. Fuck.
everyone comes to
Well, that was my fault. Anyway, yeah, if everything in the game scaled equally, like was all the same difficulty, kind of like everything was time walking, I think that would be really good for the game. Alright, well that's not ideal. We're probably not going to make the timer now because of that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Really? I like unlocking dungeons after a few levels. Gives me something to look forward to. Gotcha. Yeah, I've just played the game for too long to be worried about looking forward to small things like that.
beware.
I would rather every dungeon in the game be available at the same time and it all be possible to do. And just give us an opportunity to choose the ones we want, you know? That's the biggest, that's another big problem I have with Classic is that like, there's so many dungeons in the actual game, but so few of them are ever relevant. Like when you're level 15, you can only do 1 or 2 dungeons. And when you're level 60, what the hell's going on here? My God, these, I don't know, these shaman, they fucking blow or something. These guys have died 3 times total on a on like 4 to 5 bosses, what? We didn't interrupt anything either, what is going on here? I like the way Sword Tour where they scaled you to max levels so you can play with people of all levels. Oh, really? I didn't know they did that. That's interesting. Oh, that was a fucking... There goes. Definitely goes our chance to upgrade this. Yeah, 4 deaths from Quetzalcoatl, who's probably a Spanishman, and 2 deaths from Troshark, both on bosses. What happened at max level in Sword Tour? Do they have heroic versions? I think everything's just scaling, apparently, based on what he's saying. Yeah, if it was me, I would, you know, the World of Warcraft is kind of a spot of irony anymore, like, 90% of the game's playable content is not relevant or in any way like engaging at max level. So outside of like transmog, I guess. So I would definitely like to see a scaled version for everything in the game.
Beware.
If they basically just made time walking everything and always available, I would think that would be the way to do it. You're gonna have both unlock dungeons every few levels and same time scale all dungeons. Right, like a time walking difficulty, basically. I would like that a lot. Alright, another person dead. Anyway, Mythic Plus, nah, not Mythic Plus. That won't work. You can't really make these old dungeons competitive. But just time walking, so they all scale. I would like dungeons to have a max level version of themselves, then rebalance that with expansions. Yeah, that's basically what I'm suggesting as well. Only 3 phases. We almost had only 2 phases. So we still have a chance here. These mobs, they don't bolster, but I don't think we're going to be able to kill 3 packs of them this quickly.
Interfere in my affairs.
If somebody else can help me get them.
What makes you think you can oppose my will?
I just can't get them if you're going to pull threat and die. Then, yeah.
It is the law of the wild. The strong take from the weak.
Enjoy this victory. It will be your last.
Anyway, I don't know about low levels having access to everything. Yeah, it would work the same way as it does now, right? Like, level 60 stuff is still for level. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do mop dungeons low level, you know?
Time to curve a truth.
I like heroic mode of all dungeons as well. Or yeah, I mean, just some max level component of all the dungeons would be nice. So basically, if we avoided all these kind of just free deaths that we gave up at the end, we had a very good chance of upgrading this. Just 4 really bad deaths, one of them being mine. Actually, 5 really bad deaths. Forgot about the second death on the boss there. What's going on there? My ass kicked by these mobs. What? God, dude. Like when I target these and I can't grip them, it's really odd. But I think that's gonna be it for today anyway, sadly. Just we did too much that wasn't interesting in WoW for me to get properly engaged right now, so hang out for the rest of the afternoon and we'll be back tomorrow. Probably just on Blood DK again because we didn't really get anything done today. I don't know, we'll see. I don't really know what the plan is for alts this week, but 400 socketed boots that I won't use. So anyway, that's gonna be it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know exactly what the plan will be, but yeah, Azrite, thanks for stopping by, man. See you later. See you guys hopefully tomorrow. Diox, good to see you, man. Have a good one.